The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh, we have such sights to show you. Well, not me, but David Bruckner. You know, the guy who directed films like Southbound and VHS. 2 anthologies, by the way. Well, he is helming the newest Hellraiser reboot. And it's going to be pretty tight because they got Jamie Clayton, who is from the L Word, to play the role of Pinhead, which I'm perfectly fine with, because if you've ever read The Hellbound Heart, you know that Pinhead, or the lead Cenobite, not really called Pinhead in the book, is rather androgynous. So they got Jamie Clayton to play the role of Pinhead. I'm totally on board with this. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be fun. And they even got a new lament configuration, too, which is pretty nice. It's kind of beefed up a little bit. It's pretty sweet. And I can't wait for it. And, Clive Barker is also one of the producers. So that's pretty sweet, too. I like the sound of that. That's all. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 480 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, also in Casa de 50, and the Lair of the Gods. We are broadcasting from 4 locations for episode 480, and as MZ stated in the intro, got some exciting Hellraiser news, I think. I'm looking forward to that. Now, is it? It's a series, right, MZ? Or a film?
It's a reboot. It's a reboot of I imagine it's going to be a film, not a series. Unless I missed something in my notes.
Your notes?
Yeah, my notes, dickhead. My notes.
Let me see.
And technically, this would be a reimagining.
Yeah,
Thank you.
get your fucking wording right. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right. I know, right?
Wait, whom from the L Word is playing the lead Cenobite?
Jamie Clayton. Jamie Clayton.
Are you a fan of the L Word?
I've seen every L Word, almost every L Word episode in different
Almost?
continuity. We watched. Yeah. But no, I've watched a lot of
What
the
does the
L
L word stand for, Raven Shadow? Inquiring minds want to know.
Lesbian.
Thespian?
No, lesbian.
Why are you saying it like that?
I'm saying lesbian. I mean, I don't know what the fucking it's.
There you
L-word.
go. There you go. You
There
finally
you go.
said a word.
On Showtime. I watched,
Lesbian.
I watched that.
That's not lesbian. It's lesbian.
Libyan.
Libyan. Libyan.
Are they Libyans?
I didn't even know she was in Egypt.
Yeah, the lesbians
Oh,
fucking AK-47 at the mall when Marty McFly and Doc Brown tried to escape.
I could have sworn
Jump
that
with
there
that.
was a Hellraiser TV show. That's what threw me off. I think this is going to be a film, though. So
Yeah. The film. It says the film. The film that has now been fully detailed. This is from Bloody Disgusting, by the way.
Yep.
That film has now been fully detailed by an official Hulu press release this afternoon, announcing that Sense8 actress and L Word actress Jamie Clayton is playing Pinhead in the new movie. And they got a whole bunch of other people that's listed to go be in the movie. Odessa Izan, Brandon Flynn, Goran Visnik, I don't know, Drew Starkey, Let's see, Adam Faison,
Hey,
Adolphe
Faison.
Hans, and
Not me.
Hiam Abbas. And Hiam Abbas, if I'm pronouncing any of those names right. I'm probably not.
I get to laugh at you every time I try 4 names. You give me shit. Nice
But
job,
I guess it's
son of a
Hiam
bitch.
Abbas. He was in Blade Runner 2049.
Hiam Abbas. What the fuck? It sounds like you're talking like a Muppet.
I know, right? It says principal photography has wrapped on the production.
Okay, so
And it will make its debut exclusively in the U.S. on Hulu. So
all right.
Hulu gets it first.
Well, there is going to be an HBO Hellraiser series. That's what confused me. I wasn't sure which was which. But that's cool. I like David Bruckner. He also directed that film, The Ritual.
Oh
Yeah.
For the going to camp.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
You didn't? What the fuck's wrong with you?
No.
He also did The Night House, which has been getting some good praise as well. So, but yeah, we know.
I got problems.
Yeah, you look like a fucking old man. Look at you. Glasses on the end of your nose. If we're going to make fun of Raven Shadow for holding his phone up to his fucking face, we're going to talk shit about you. Look at you. You look like an old woman.
No.
Like an
the reason why.
Look like an old maid.
Tell you. No. Let me explain why I wear them like this. It's so I can read the phone, like I normally do, like this, not like this, where I got the Star Wars crawl, like this, like a normal average person would. And then if I need, and then I could see you guys straightforward.
Why would you want to see us?
Otherwise, I'd be doing this all the time. I don't know. Who the hell knows? You've been torturing audiences and all of us for the past 9+ years, forcing us to look at each other.
Picture it, Sicily, 1914. Right? Is that this fucking story?
What the fuck?
Golden Girl.
No, it's close. Picture it, Sicily, 1922.
Yeah, there you go.
It's always 1922 in Sicily.
All right. So what do we got going tonight? Oh, tonight I'm excited. We're talking about VHS 94. Just dropped on Shudder, streaming exclusively on Shudder. And it's the latest entry in the VHS franchise. This is the 4th film in the franchise. And I'm excited to talk about it because we've talked about the previous 3. So it's only fitting that we do the 4th. So looking forward to that. And then, as always, if we get some voice messages, we'll play some voice messages. I haven't even checked. I'll have to double check, see if we do have any. We'll play those. If you're listening live, you still have time to get one in if you'd like. Send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and let us know what you think of VHS 94 or any found footage. We can kind of extend that found footage conversation from last week with Double D. And or if you just have thoughts about any film in general or anything you're digging, you want to do a double tap, anything like that, just feel free to shoot us a message. Raven Chow, you clapped. You got some good feedback on the takeover with Double D.
Yeah, no, Double D made me smile. I like that.
Just once?
Oh, plural.
He makes you smile.
Smiles.
You still smiling?
Smiles. I mean, not for long, but yeah, right now.
Did you have a rough week again?
It's bad.
Even with Double D? All right. How many times did you listen to that episode?
Not once. I did do a follow up. I like to just see and hear what
you said.
Show what I said. But yeah, I like to listen to it. It's like hanging out with my friends, but I'm doing the lawn. I'm doing.
Honestly, like I don't listen. I haven't listened to the episodes in a long time, mostly because I just don't have time. I like to sometimes go back because while I'm actually like producing the episode and doing everything, like sometimes I don't even know what's going on. Like I will forget things that happen because I'm I have 3 screens in front of me. I'm doing the video feed, recording the audio, doing everything else, looking at the chat room. So it's hard for me to keep track of everything. So sometimes I forget what is even discussed. So I used to go back and listen just so I could remember. So when someone's like, "Oh, remember that time you said this or did that?" and I'm like, "Nope, no clue."
That's
So
why I do it.
that's
so I can
what.
stay
No,
calm.
no, you do it to listen to your own voice.
Only a little bit.
and to see how much we're making fun of you when you're not in the room, which is about half the show.
I can fucking hear you downstairs. It's fucking piped in the house. I can hear you doing it.
It's piped
can
in the
feel it.
house. You make
Yeah.
it sound like you,
You
have a
have-
better tech setup than you actually do.
Fucking tech setup, shame me.
If I thought you could do that, I would believe that it is piped through the house.
I can hear it because you're so fucking loud. I got the headphones on, always scared. I can hear you when I'm downstairs.
How loud do you have those headphones?
11.
Are you losing your? Are you
Yeah,
losing
you lose
your
your
hearing too?
Yeah.
Yes, I got my eyes are shitty. I think I'm getting dementia, and the hearing's going. You know, the Brajol still works, so at least I don't gotta fucking go to the elephant graveyard yet. But it's not good.
Out of everybody,
Do you have like miracle ear?
miracle here. Out of everybody, I thought your hearing in your eye. Well, okay, you've always had glasses, so as far as I've known you, so I can't say your eyesight would be better than everyone's, but like I think you would maintain your faculties better than everyone. Your crutch is your smoking. So I thought for sure like MZ would be the one that looks like the old maid, like he did about 10 minutes ago, wearing those glasses on the end of his nose. Hey, Sonny. Aries is going to need a crutch for his beard when it gets longer.
Yeah.
A walking stick for his beard.
But I got to tell you, Raven Shadow, you look really bizarre without glasses.
Thank you.
You really look weird without glasses.
You look weird
It's
with
hard.
glasses.
I admit, you're right.
Yeah, kick his ass,
You're right.
Aries.
What?
Kick his ass? What? Wow.
Aries, my defending me.
Is
Thank
Aries
you.
your friend still?
I'm not defending you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
I was just merely jumping on the opportunity to make fun of MZ.
Still sounds like defending me.
Don't get confused.
I am confused.
Throw off. Hey, have any of you guys been watching the Squid Game
Nope.
on Netflix?
No.
No?
Is it on Game
Nope.
Network?
You're missing out on a great show.
You know,
It's awesome.
so before you talk about it, one thing that's funny is Tim from Korea, aka Ghetto Tim, who we just had on the show recently, he told us about Squid Game way back years ago when we talked about As the Gods Will, the Takashi Miike film. Do you guys remember that? No, you guys don't remember that?
I remember. I remember talking about the film. I don't remember Squid Game though.
Yeah, well, he mentioned it because Squid Game's been around for a while. It like I think it was made like 10 years ago, and it was recently picked up or something like that. I don't know the whole story. I haven't really been keeping up with it, but it's something that's been around for a while. And yeah, Tim from Korea had mentioned it on the show about that because some people are saying are accusing Squid Game of plagiarizing As the Gods Will, because do you remember that game with, it was like red light green light with like the oh shit, what's the name of that like Japanese head, like the Doku, or what's the name of that thing?
Oh Jesus, I don't remember.
I'll have to look it up. I forget what it's called, but it's like for good luck. It's like a head, and they played that red light green light game. Is that something that's part of Squid Game? Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
first game, yeah.
Yeah, it's the first chapter. So they
Yeah.
jump right into it.
But supposedly the creator of Squid Game said that he's been working on Squid Game since like 2008, which predates As the Gods Will. But it's just one of those things that when you look at it, though, I saw the shots side by side, and it's like exact. Like the shots are like the same.
Hmm.
So just kind of interesting, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he could be paying homage to Miike. He said he didn't say he did though, but I mean, it's possible that that he was, you know.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with paying homage to a Mickey film, you know. So
Yeah, so I
But,
just wanted to bring that up because Tim had posted about that and said that he had brought it up on that show, and that was we talked about As the Gods Will way back on episode 182. That was January 2016.
wow,
Holy shit. Really?
6 years ago. Jeez.
Yeah,
God
we
damn.
had El Goro and Tim on for that show.
Wow. But
So yeah,
it's a
go ahead, MZ. Go ahead.
it's a great series. I think it's only like 9 episodes, and I'm starting episode 6. So far, I've gone through 5 episodes, and it's pretty wild. It's crazy, and it's violent. It's very violent.
And is it like your sort of like prototypical Korean like kind of story? In terms of like a strong emotional connection and
Yes, yeah, that builds up big time, and the area that everyone has to play this game. The first thing you see is like this, and I don't know how they did it, to be perfectly honest, unless it's a cut and paste sort of thing, which I'm gathering it has to be. Nobody would put this much effort into something like this. There's like a scene where like an MC Escher stairway drawing has come to life, and you got like people walking upstairs, down sideways stairs, going up this, underneath stairs and things like that. But it looks genuine. But I can't believe anybody would put that much effort into it. It's pretty wild. It's extremely violent. And it's all about, if people are destitute, they need money. They're racking up debt like crazy, and they get this, and over 450 people get a chance to play this game. And it's basically like Battle Royale, really. One person survives to win. So it's crazy. It's insane.
Would you
as only the what?
Would you qualify it as horror?
Well, I would have the situation that these people are in. I would certainly consider it horror. I would say horror. Horror, maybe a little bit of sci-fi thrown in.
Horror adjacent.
But it definitely has its dramatic moments too, and it gets pretty intense. I strongly suggest you guys check this out. It's bright, it's colorful, it's big. The scope of this film is enormous. And they all play games that you play as a kid. Only this time you're adults playing games that a kid would play, and the stakes are your life. And if you come out on top, you'll be billions of dollars richer. So it's really a great series. You guys have to see this. First episode, one episode, you're hooked.
Rich, you gonna check it out?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I mean, well, there is smoking in there.
Oh,
there is smoke.
Look at that.
So
maybe
there's
someone's
something for everybody, Raven Shadow.
reconsidering.
All right, MZ. I don't want you to complain about that. We do 2 mainstream movies because Squid Game has to be the most popular thing going right now, and you want to talk about it. Like Good Morning America is talking about this, and you don't want to do a mainstream movie because it's too popular.
Well, for starters, it's not in this country. It's in South Korea.
Has nothing to do with anything. It is a mainstream thing right now.
It's a mainstream series,
Yes.
not a mainstream. It's a mainstream movie now from a show that came out 10 years ago.
So it's the most popular thing going right now.
So I was actually mistaken. The show didn't come out 10 years ago. I guess it was shopped around. It's been basically, so Creepy Girl actually chimed in and says, "Hey guys, feeling lonely tonight, so decided to hang with the crew." MZ, you got something to say, Creepy Girl?
Yes. Hey, babe.
And he said, she says, he wrote this 10 years ago and it didn't get picked up till now. It was rejected at first. So I think I misunderstood when I was reading it. I think that it started being developed in 2008 and the script was written and got turned down by a bunch of people and it finally got picked up. So I think it is a new production, but it's something that he's been working on for 13 years 14 years or something like that. So, and Corny is singing its praises, says, "I love it." And Creepy Girl says it's not a movie, it's a series. I think we knew that, unless someone misspoke. So, yeah, I haven't checked it out. I'm curious. I do like South Korean cinema. I haven't watched any of their TV shows, but I think I'd be interested in hearing everyone talk about it. So, yeah. Evil Corny says number 67 in Squid Game. Love, 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 love. Does that mean anything to you, MZ?
I know who he's talking about. Yeah.
Oh, is Corny got a crush?
Well, you have to ask him.
Is she blonde?
Well, if it's South Korean, probably not.
Okay.
Chances are no.
Well, it's different now.
Why would you think she'd be blonde?
I don't know. They got hair dye. I don't know.
Do they have hair dye in South Korea, Michael Raven Channel?
I don't know. Let's ask Tim from Korea.
I mean, she is. I mean, she is kind of cute in a way.
All right. So
Yeah.
Squid Game.
She has all her own limbs. She doesn't have it.
She has 20/20 vision.
Yeah.
Actually, that works
She
against you, MZ.
You
And
should date more like Alicia.
A lot of things work against me, dude. You'd be surprised.
Actually, with that shirt, you kind of remind me of Ben Grimm.
it's clobbering time.
Yeah, you need like a blind girl like Alicia Masters
Jesus.
to touch your face. That video.
What else was I going to mention? So yeah, Squid Game. Everyone's talking about Squid Game. What was the other thing? I was going to bring up something else. So Raven Shadow last night. I know you and Rocky talk about this. You talk about Stargirl. Rocky was singing its praises. Said it's the best DC show going.
He was. We talked to Rock a little bit. It's a great fucking show, dude.
I didn't know the Shade was in it. When I heard the Shade was in it, I perked up.
Motherfucker, I've been telling you, the show definitely blends the Infinity Inc. Era of the JSA legacy characters, and it definitely mines from the Jack Knight, James Robinson, Tony Harris, Starman run. I think, at least I'll speak for you on this point, Wolfie. We love that, right? We adore.
Yes, I'll let you speak for me on that. Yes, we love it. It's the only time I'll let you speak for me.
Thank you. And Robinson is a producer. He threw a middle name in there, but he's involved. So they definitely cherry pick the Jack Knight, some Jack Knight stuff. But it is a love letter to DC's golden age, and it's for their budget. It is done.
Has Jack Knight showed up?
No, I mean they're doing the Pemberton route. Sylvester Pemberton, aka the original Star Spangled Kid, and later on Skyman.
Yeah.
But if you remember the books, Pemberton should have been the next Starman because he had the cosmic convertible that Ted Knight gave. I know it's fucking. He's a super nerd.
Yes, it is.
It is. but there's some stuff with Grundy you would recognize.
Solomon Grundy.
And Shade is actually really dope. The dude in this comes off like he brings some gravitas, like John Glover from and I'm sorry, Marion, the greatest DC live action TV show.
I heard you guys had a little feud about that. She thinks Stargirl's the greatest, but you'll never think otherwise, right?
I would feel that Stargirl is the second greatest live action DC show. And I would say it's the best show of the modern era. But I mean, not for nothing, Clark fucking started it, dude. Right? Smallville fucking started it. But Stargirl was so good. Shade is killer, and you will see a lot of old school stuff. You would dig it. I think you and T-Dog would love it. For real.
I might check it out. So we talked about that a little bit. What else? What else is going on in the world? There was I don't know if you guys saw, there was I guess they're remaking Resident Evil. I don't know if you guys ever played the original games. Did you guys play the original game?
Oh,
okay.
of course.
Okay. Well, the remake, the film, or I don't know if I don't want to call it a remake because it's not a remake of the original film. It's kind of like just doing the first game, and it looks pretty close. There's a couple really cool things, including like that big scene where the zombie looks back over his shoulder. Like it looks like they got a lot right in it. So, not like super excited, but it's kind of cool that they're doing it, and I'm glad they're doing it a little bit more in line with the game.
I mean, that franchise kind of took a life of its own, right? I mean, I'm not a mark for it, but like it seemed like the Mila Jovovich stuff. There's a market for it. Like, is that like the zombie Fast and the Furious franchise where they just keep pumping them out?
I guess. I mean, that's probably close facsimile, I guess. I don't know.
Because how many were there? There was quite a bit.
Like 7 or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I don't even think there's that Resident Evil games.
I'm trying to remember. Well, I guess if you include the remasters or the re-releases, I think there's 8 or 9 of them now. So, Corny just posted a picture of 67 from Squid Game. He says, also, I like blondes. LOL. Blondes.
Blondes. What are you feeding that thing?
Blondes.
You guys, I don't know, you guys see anything cool this week? Or MZ, I know you watch a lot of stuff. Have you've been doing your 31 days?
Today I didn't.
What?
I couldn't get around to it.
Turn off the camera, go watch your movie. Don't do the show.
Gladly. See ya.
Son of a bitch. How's that going other than that? You watching anything worth watching? It looks like you're watching a lot of shit.
Yeah. Well, it started off as shit, and then I watched *Malignant* yesterday.
Not the James Wan one.
Not the new one. No. This is it's funny. On Tubi, it says that it's all about a girl who gets abducted onto a game show, and she has to fight for her life. It almost sounds like Squid Game. And it turns out that is not only true, but it's also a bit misleading because *Malignant*, the one that I watched anyway, is a anthology. Which I thought, okay, well, this kind of ties into everything that I've been doing this week. So I thought that was kind of ironic. And it's worth watching. It's only like 75 minutes long. There's 8 stories. And they're kind of told in sort of a EC style. Okay. Kind of like Tales from the Crypt. it's in that the storytelling is in that style, but there's nothing EC about it, visually. You don't get any comic panels or anything like that. In fact, you don't even get a wraparound story. It's just 8 stories smashed together and released as a movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But outside of 2 stories, the rest are really good, effective, well acted.
So it does kind of
and
fit what we
worth
did
watching.
found footage last week, and we're doing a found footage anthology this week. So Malignant is an anthology. It's not found footage though, right?
No, it's not found footage. No. Well, would the film that we're reviewing today, would that be considered an anthology? I think it would be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I said. It's a
definitely. Okay,
found footage anthology. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to be clear on that. But yeah, it's really good. And I also watched another movie called The Isle. That is
The Isle, as in AI, or Isle as in like island.
ISLE. And really good. A really good movie as far as acting and atmosphere and location. Really good, and it's shot gorgeously. I mean, you've got to see how this movie looks. It's beautiful. Not too well committed onto the horror aspect of it, though. I'm afraid. Kind of wish they kind of committed to that a little bit more. But I mean, if you just want to take a look at a good looking movie, this is it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I also saw like Clown Motel. Oh, God. When you see Ari Lehman, the first Jason from Friday the 13th, dressed up as a clown. God.
So the Isle, was it from 2018? Was that the one?
Yeah.
It's like a period piece, it looks like.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good as far as how it looks. I just wish the story was a little better. But
are you watching? Is everything you're watching brand new to you, or have you seen, or is it, or have you re-watching things?
Everything is brand new. These are all movies that I have never seen.
Cool. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting a lot of shit, but there's a couple diamonds and stuff, and last night's movie is indicative of that. So
you put the dick back in indicative, don't you?
I did.
All right, so start to wrap things up here. I want to get talking about this flick. Plus, with anthologies, we typically take a little bit longer because we try to talk about each individual short. But one thing I wanted to bring up is we have. I asked some folks in Discord. I wanted to see what, because you guys know about, like, well, I'm sure some of you guys know at least. Facebook went down for several hours. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday. And for some people, the world fucking came to an end because you couldn't get onto Instagram or WhatsApp or Facebook or any of the apps that they run or operate. Were you okay? Did you make it through, MZ? Did you survive?
Yeah, that was okay.
What was that, Raven Channel?
It's kind of weird. Listen, I conspiracy theories and time travel, you can go down fucking rabbit holes. But it was Tuesday, right? It was the day that there was the whistleblower, and I hate that term, was coming out.
I thought it was Monday. No, was it Monday?
It was the same day, if memory serves. Whenever there was that, she was speaking in front of Congress or who the fuck listens. Yeah. Oddly enough, it goes down.
Yes, that was Tuesday then. Okay.
And then it's kind of weird, and they came back today saying, "Oh, it was preventative maintenance, or it was an upgrade." Listen, once again, I don't give a fuck. I got my own fucking problems, but it's fucking weird, right? Isn't it kind of weird that when someone is speaking about shit, your shit goes down, and the real winner was like, I don't know what's the other platform? TikTok.
No,
Nub.
Twitter. Twitter was the one because everyone flocked to Twitter.
Nub.
Nub,
What's the fucking
Twitter?
nub? Nine numb.
Corny says it was Monday because he went to the chiropractor Monday. So let's. And then she spoke in front of Congress on Tuesday, and the like whistleblower stuff came out on Sunday. So yeah, I mean it. And by the way, if this is news to anybody of Facebook's predatory sort of like behavior, like then you haven't been paying attention. That's what they do. Like they try. We're the product. They make money off of us, and we opt in and say it's fine. Go ahead, make money off of us, and they do.
Wolfie, after the last couple of shows, do you know how many comedians that popped up in my video feed that did bits about pissing in showers?
No fucking way, really?
My mother's
Really?
fucking. There was a woman comedian doing a bit, and it was like, oh, if you like fucking pissing in the shower, look at this video. I'm like, yeah, not for nothing. Like, it's on my mother's eyes.
See, I had a different problem. I had a different problem. I got a lot of ads for adult diapers.
Yeah, but Aries, you actually use those, so.
Yeah.
So apparently,
What?
Raven Shadow, the algorithms actually work for you.
Apparently they do. They fucking do.
So
Yeah.
we should just like start talking all kinds of bullshit right now, so you get some weird fucking ads showing up tomorrow.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? Like, really? Like,
Raven Shadow
I think
needs diuretics. He's the incontinental champion.
Condoms for goats. You know. Let's talk about that.
What?
Yes.
Your brain goes there. Condoms for goats.
We're talking about pissing in showers. Yeah, my mind goes there.
I love how that's just A,
Yeah.
B.
Yeah,
Like,
A to
there's
B.
no just, yeah.
Yeah,
Pissing in shower,
It's-
condoms
it's-
for goats. Yeah, it's natural.
yes.
I could
It's a
see.
natural transition. I don't understand how you guys can't see that.
I could see. What I think of in my head is that meme with Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny, the conspiracy theory board. Like that's MZ's fucking brain. A to B, like it is like like all over the place. Oh shit. Evil Corny says Raven Shadow was looking at porn of people peeing in showers. What the fuck?
Hey, why was it porn? That's not my kink, dog.
Maybe Ollie's into that. Maybe, he likes seeing other pooches lift their leg in the shower.
Yeah, I mean, what's that joke? It's like the whole 2 girls, 1 cup, and like Mary always talks about it. It's like, yeah, dogs are like, yeah, it's 2 girls eating poop, whatever the fuck.
What
It's
about
fine.
cake farts?
Yeah, it's not my bag, baby. I don't like that. I don't like that.
You were horrified at that.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me tell you this: I'll watch the cake farts over 2 girls, 1 cup any day.
How about
You were the
Raven
one that
Shadow?
said you liked cake farts.
Huh?
You said you liked cake farts.
Yeah, he said he'd choose it over 2 girls, 1 cup.
Well, it's
Yeah.
It makes it sound like it's 2 bad things you're choosing over.
No, MZ, he makes that decision every day. He's like, should I watch cake farts or 2 girls, 1 cup today? Oh, cake farts again. Eight-
Some days I feel like a cake fart day, and
some
you
days
watch
some days
that?
I just feel like a cup day.
Jesus. Corny says it's become a fetish for you. Cake farts. MZ, if you ever fill out a dating profile, I shudder to think what would be on there. On Christian Mingle, or what was it?
Farmers only.
Farmers Only. Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, at least you have a reason to have the condoms for goats, you know.
Well, now
fucking
you're talking.
weird.
Yeah, now it makes sense. Now I see where your head is.
Now it all. Yeah, see, it's a complete circle. It goes full circle.
Skeletron, our boy Skeletron just popped in. He says, just joined. Don't know what's going on. And I hear Raven Shadow looking up porn of people peeing in showers and now cake farts. I'm okay.
That's not what was going on, Skeletron. Okay, I'm saying that we discussed it on a recent show, and on my fucking phone, the telephone.
And Facebook was giving him targeted ads for peeing in the shower.
Yeah. Skeletron, I've never even pissed in the shower before.
Everyone
I
else
don't even
has.
Yeah. I was gonna have to stay over, but now I'm concerned, Skeletron. Listen.
Oh shit. That's amazing. All right, so as I was talking about Discord, so I wanna start getting the Discord going. I want to get more stuff going because honestly, like I only, well, not, you guys probably know, I'm not super active on Facebook. Like I post those shows and I comment on people's stuff, but I hardly ever post my own stuff. You know, like I'm just kind of over some of that stuff. I use it for the podcast. That's like the big thing, and the group, and the Trick or Treat Radio group, and the Star Wars groups and stuff like that. But like I want to have a safe haven free of all the bullshit that Facebook's about. And that's why I was really pushing Discord. And I'd love to get more people involved in the Discord. And some people were even saying, like Vesa was saying he'd love if our Discord was more active because he loves it. So that's why I was trying to get some people to give some feedback about what people would like to do on the Discord. And so I just created a new channel for trailers. So people want to post new trailers that come out, you just post them in there. And I figured that would be kind of a cool usage. And then any other ideas that people have for the Discord, like feel free to toss them out there. I'd love to do some more stuff. And Raven Shadow, I know we have to have a conversation, but we have some ideas for something that we want to do maybe towards the end of the year. And I think Discord would be a perfect place for that, to do sort of like almost like a live show that includes like some video content. Maybe MZ, if we reach a certain amount of like Patreon supporters or something like that, we could show the the tuck dance.
Oh, maybe some spoken words, some readings.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, this is Aphrodisia, a Victorian novel by the author Anonymous. It has some erotica, Victorian era erotica. We could do some readings of.
There you go. Wow, the erotic readings. Rage Show, you gonna do them? You want to give a sample? Want to give a quick sample? Hold it right up to your eyes. You taking your glasses off to read? All right, here we go.
How close he's got it.
Here we go. Let him talk.
I got problems. I must put you to bed, my pets, I said, taking no care to conceal my amusement in this game. Lie on the bed, dressed just as you are, Sonia. Lie with your head towards this end, and Petra, my child, lie with your head towards the other. You shall sleep head to tail tonight, if you find any leisure to sleep at all. They obeyed without any real sign of reluctance. Sonia put her knee on the bed and climbed over to her side. She settled the shock of her dark curls at the center and stretched out her bare limbs, which are brown as gypsies after so much sun. Petra followed more, bashfully, first putting her hands behind her head and forming a collar-length ponytail of her lank flaxen hair, which she secured with an ordinary rubber band. 18-year-old Petra arranged herself so that she lie facing Sonia head to tail. The posture kept each girl's level. What?
Oh, hold on, Rachel. I'm going to interrupt you right there. Just because MZ's lubing up his hands while he's listening to you talk. And then weird. Aries poured a drink. Just the dichotomy between the two videos. Oh my God. I had to call that out.
I just couldn't, because not only was he lubing up, big shit-eating grin on his face while he's doing it.
I know. He's like licking his lips.
Got my glasses.
Fucking creep. Raven Chow, save the rest. Save it for. Give him a tease. You gave him a tease. No, let's save it.
Let me just get. I'm almost done. Can you?
Okay. Go ahead.
The fingers. To complete this charming ensemble, I enforce a degree of amorous bondage upon them. Around each girl's waist is a light gold chain, its ends welded so that it cannot be removed. About each pretty neck, I now clipped a broad leather collar from which ran another 12 inches or so of chain. This I locked round the shapely partner's waist. So our pretty pair were condemned to pass the night in their present suggested manner, each pillowing her head on the other's hips and backside.
You're going to get some interesting targeted ads tomorrow. Evil Corey says, what kind of manual is he reading? Is it the book from Beetlejuice? And Marion says, I know I'm turned on now.
Marion, come over.
Oh, my God. I can see it now. Raven Chow, Marion's going to come over. There's going to be like Uncrustable wrappers like leading from the doorway to his bedroom instead of rose petals.
Is that your dream to like do it on just a bunch of Uncrustables strewn about the bed?
I mean, that's
The Uncrustable wrappers. The wrappers.
solo nut.
It would never happen on an actual Uncrustable. That would be damaging an Uncrustable, and you can't have that. The wrappers, yes. The actual Uncrustable, no.
Jesus Christ.
Gotta have something to.
All right. Well, anyway, so yeah, we're thinking about doing some more with the Discord. I'd love to get more people to join. The link is in the show notes. So wherever you're listening to this, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, on Google, on Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere, just look in the show notes, scroll down, and below the actual show notes, there's a bunch of links, and you'll see an invite to the Discord server in there. Just click it and hop in. The Discord is, we have the general chat room is open to anybody, but then we have additional chat rooms that are open to Patreon supporters. So you unlock access to all the channels when you're a Patreon supporter. So, speaking of which, segue, Patreon, if you guys want to help support the show, it's the easiest and best way to do so. Head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And there you'll find 3 different tiers. You can help support for as little as $2 a month, and then it goes up from there. So you get access to all the exclusive episodes that we drop monthly. And also we do the Masterpiece Theater Movie Club. We do the Blackout tapes. And we also do the Patreon Takeover, which we did last week with Double D. And I talked to our next Patreon Takeover, and what we're doing is we're doing a loop. We're coming back around to the beginning, Raven Shadow.
Oh, Snoop.
Do you remember who was first?
Evil Corny.
That's right. So Evil Corny's up next. We got to figure out. I think we're going to do it in November. But I'm going to also touch base with Corny, and we'll figure it out. So Corny will be next, and we'll be doing that, and then we're gonna go back around. So do the whole fucking loop again. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing what Corny's going to pick. So yeah, if you guys want to jump in on that and help support, you can get some stuff for your support. Patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And let's see here. Chat room. Oh my God. Ooh, creepy girl. She said, good thing your videos are all chest up because we all know Raven gave you all hard on.
Yeah.
Nope. Absolutely not. The way you read.
Deny.
Yeah, like if anything, I've gone sterile with the way that you read that.
No, it's
He
sexy.
removed his fucking shirt and blah, 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 blah.
This
He
is
opened the
It's
front.
a cross between Christopher Walken and Seinfeld.
Yeah, he opened the front screen door and sat on his porch and removed his shirt while he drank a Rolling Rock.
called that Tuesday.
Call that Tuesday, yeah. And he took his dog for a walk. And then when he came back, he put his dog in the sink and he checked him for ticks.
I totally. That's every day. I did have a conversation with my neighbor. He's a good guy, Paul. He's a big fella. He's built like the Tick. and all he's been, kind of peeing in his yard. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I know. And like he'll do it right in front of like the big bay window they have, and I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I was getting older. You just smell something here. You just gotta go. And he was cool with it, but it's always right in front of the window. That's all he does. You know what I mean? Makes us look.
Oh man. So let's talk about the other ways that people can support, so we can wrap up this intro here. Folks can go to trickortreatradio.com. They can scroll down, look for the Amazon logo. You click it, brings you right to Amazon. Inputs our affiliate link. You're going to buy a lot of shit. Everything you buy in that session will get attributed to us. We get credit for sending you to Amazon. It's not going to cost any extra. Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. So, we get a tiny little cut, like a small percentage. And, it all helps. It all goes into helping to pay for the podcast. And finally, we have the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio, volumes 1 through 3 on trickortreatradio.com. Click on store, and you can buy versions, episodes, whatever the fuck they're called, series. There's 3 of them, whatever they are, the volumes. And it's got the highlights, the midlights, the lowlights, the interviews, the songs, the arguments, everything in between, all that good nonsense, and you can find it there for $3 a pop. That's another way to help support. So there you go. Those are the ways you can help support the show. Now, Michael Raven Shadow, you sit down and watch VHS 94. What do you do to prepare? What do you do to get yourself in the 90s mindset?
Oh man, I probably put some. Buy some skids. Remember skids? Those overall jeans.
I do.
You know what I mean? I don't have the internet or a cell phone. I get my pager flowing. Figure out the code to be able to access my voice messaging from, what do you call it?
From beyond.
Answer machine. From the payphone that we had. Drive to Denny's and we're real excited because Aries once had a phone with a bag on it. You remember the bag phone, Aries? That was fun.
The bag phone?
Yeah.
Do you remember this, Aries?
Yeah.
Okay. What is a bag phone?
Thank you. Dynamite drop, Aries. Thank you.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. This is your bit.
But I want you to help me.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, a bag phone is an old school portable car phone.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I went down to Spencer Gifts, maybe went down to the Dream Machine, played some arcades, and it was the 90s, so I was probably to be home before it was fucking midnight, otherwise I'd get in trouble because I was so much younger back in those days. So you better believe I wasn't really going here. Chapter on.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you gotta check out Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
No. Don't say that.
That's like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church. I don't know.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for greatness.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really are. You got a great show.
We are back on Trick or Treat Radio. And we're going to talk about our featured film, and that is The Isle. No, just kidding. I had the wrong thing up on IMDb because I looked that film up after you talked about it, MZ. We're going to talk about VHS 94. This film just dropped on Shudder on the 6th of October. And so it's fresh. And this film is a horror mystery thriller, or if you want to get into subgenres, it is a found footage anthology. It is 1 hour, 43 minutes. And as for the directors, it's directed by Simon Barrett, Steven Kostansky, which is actually a surprise to me. I didn't realize that he did anything in this. Chloe Okuno, Ryan Prowse, Jennifer Reeder, and Timo. I'm just going to call him Timo because I don't know how to say his last name. He doesn't tell people how to say his last name. I think he enjoys people, like seeing people fuck it up. But I think it's Tajanto. But we'll just call him Timo. He's our bro. And I'm not going to go over the stars because in an anthology, obviously there's a lot of different actors and actresses in this. But the synopsis: a police SWAT team investigates about a mysterious VHS tape and discovers a sinister cult that has pre-recorded material which uncovers a nightmarish conspiracy. So we have 4 shorts and a wrapper. And so the last VHS flick was VHS Viral, which dropped in 2014. So it's been 7 years since we've had an entry into this series. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe VHS 1, 2, and Viral all came out in subsequent years. So I think it was like 2012, 2013, 2014, something along those lines. And if I'm not mistaken, I would say that VHS Viral was our least favorite, if I recall correctly, with VHS 1 being mostly positive, VHS 2 being very positive, especially a couple of the shorts, and Viral being a little middling. And so we'll see where this one sits. And
I don't actually recall liking any of them.
You didn't like 2 with Safe Haven with Gareth Evans and Timo?
I mean, as far as separate stories goes, I'm sure there were a couple that I liked, but the film as a whole, I think I've I think I've soured on all three of them.
Well, yeah, I don't remember, so I'm not sure. But I mean, generally, I'm talking about the show in general, like the consensus. So, I don't know about you, but the general consensus was that 1 was pretty good, 2 had some standout. There's 2 had Safe Haven was I think still one of my favorite horror shorts of all time, and it's just fucking bonkers. It's so good. But that one also had the one from Jason Eisner, which I thought was great. Slumber Party Alien Abduction, the last one. Which was real good. And also, what was the other one? And the one from Eduardo Sanchez, I thought was also pretty good. That was the zombie with there was like a bike, someone riding a bike, and there was like a zombie. Yeah, you remember that, Rave Shadow?
The selfie cam.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously Eduardo Sanchez is no stranger to found footage, right, MZ?
That's true.
Being one of the directors of Blair Witch. So, yeah, I think VHS 2 was my favorite, with Safe Haven being the best one, the best of all of the VHSs from the first 3. Personally, for me, I just thought that one was so fucking good. So we'll kind of compare and contrast a little bit and talk about the previous films. But this is, it's been 7 years. This was put out on Shudder. It's exclusively on Shudder. And also Bloody Disgusting had a hand in the production of this. And let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention. And I think it's got a nice assemblage of filmmakers. I'm not familiar with the work of Chloe Okuno or Jennifer Reeder, but I'm familiar with the work of all the other folks that worked on this. So, I think it's a good mix of up and coming talent with some established talent, and especially with Ryan Prowse, who directed Lowlife, Raven Shadow. you gotta get a little clap in there. That's your boy. You sad that Randy wasn't in this?
I am sad, but there was another man crush that had a cameo.
Oh, was there ever?
Oh man, little veggie masher.
Connor Sweeney.
Excellent piece you have.
That was by the way, and just that was the one that was directed by Steven Kostansky. So he did the commercial, which makes sense, right? Nastron 6 sort of jam.
Oh, I fucking popped. I popped.
It was pretty great. I thought that was great timing. I actually wish they had did more of those.
I want that to be a feature. Just all the Astron 6 guys doing like infomercials.
Commercials, yeah.
Yeah, I would.
All right, so let's jump into this and talk about VHS 94. So I guess what we typically do in these is we typically start with the wrapper, and so we can talk about that. Well, do you guys want to start with the wrapper or finish with it, since it kind of ends the film, right?
But it leads off with it.
Yeah, so it does lead off with it. Okay, so we'll start there. What did you guys think of the wrapper on this? And this was directed by Jennifer Reeder, just to call it out.
Conflicted.
Yeah, I agree. I think the wrapper for this was a little more exciting than, because the wrapper hasn't been a strong point for, hasn't been a strong suit for VHS in my estimation. I feel like the wrappers are generally pretty weak. It's definitely not the highlight of these, but it's just a narrative wrapper to tie them all together in some form or fashion. So I get it. I understand the need for it. But to me, it's never been a standout in this franchise.
I would agree.
Yeah, I like this. I like the opening of the wraparound. It's exciting. It's got a SWAT team involved, so you got gunplay going on, possibly. It felt authentic, it looked authentic. I really don't remember too much about the rappers from the previous films, but they couldn't have been. I don't think they were as appealing as this one was. It just added a level of excitement to it.
So this one worked for you then, MZ?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a mission in. I like.
Okay. How about you, Aries? Oh, I'm sorry, Raven Shadow. You were going to say something, but you got interrupted.
No, yeah, just it's fine. It let off pretty hard, and it's cool. It kind of had like that kind of cops kind of feel.
Yeah, like a giant raid. Like they're going in, they're raiding this warehouse. Kind of a cool setup.
But I get what they were doing with the tracking of it, but it was really jarring to kind of watch.
So when you mean tracking, you don't mean the tracking of like the camera movements. You mean the actual visual effect on screen of like the wear and tear on the tape, the kind of to make it look VHS, right?
Static lines.
Static lines.
Correct. I mean, I get what they were doing. I get the aesthetic of it. Appreciate that. But it just, I didn't love it from the jump, even though I get it was an exciting opening. But I got to say that, like, as a leadoff batter, as Johnny Damon, 2004 Red Sox, it wasn't. I wasn't. It's kind of like, just fix the fucking tracking, dude.
Fix the fucking tracking. Well, it wasn't really a tracking. It was just like, to me, that was like an old tape, right?
Right, but you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I get even like when we watched the one with D with the broken on the camera as the effect. I got bad eyes. You know what I mean? I just
Oh
want
my
to see the
God, that's your problem.
It is my fucking problem. I guess I'll just live with that. Next fucking
No, you
not 30, maybe 5 minutes.
Just go to the doctor.
I fucking do.
Do you have a vision plan?
Yeah, I'm gonna lose this. I can see today. I better read all those books now, because otherwise I'll be Matt Murdock, except for the acrobatic and ninja shit.
Yeah. And the being cool part. Sorry if I hurt your feelings, Raven Shadow.
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
That was the only thing he thought he had going for him, was that it was cool.
Yeah. How about you, Aries? With the raid.
It kind of was very lackluster for me because I thought it was very unbelievable. The couple of the characters didn't come off to me as SWAT people, like they didn't appear that way. There's one guy in particular just seemed like he was completely didn't belong in SWAT at all. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, and that just kind of took me out of it. And this was your opportunity to get away from the handheld, point of view shot, because the rest of the movie is that. And because it was just more of that, it blended together too much. Like, I didn't fully grasp what was going on until we were 3 shorts into it. Like, I didn't know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Evil Corny says, and the lawyer part and the cool glasses part, Raven Shadow.
Thank you.
I say you don't have those. You're not a lawyer. You might play one on TV.
And you don't have cool glasses.
Yeah.
Well, it may have happened once, but I definitely have cool glasses.
No, you know what's cool about glasses? Being able to see out of them.
No.
All right. So for me, I think that it didn't really do anything to draw me in. It just was like, okay, cool. This is what they're doing with it. Okay, cool. It just didn't really do anything to bring me into it, I think it was shot fairly well, but I agree. the static lines, like I know it's VHS 94, but like I just I don't know. Like I feel like I feel like we're past the point where we need to make it look authentic. You know, you have technology in 2021 or 2020, whenever they shot this. I'm not sure, but still, like you're degrading the quality to make it look like it's from that era, and that's I get what they're going for. It's fine, but I don't know. I just wish they hadn't done that. Even if the rapper was the only one that did it, I would have felt better about that, because that's sort of the narrative rapper of what they're using to tie it all together. But but most of the shorts utilized that as well, and I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm not like. I feel like it makes it more voyeuristic, which maybe that's what they're going for. But like, I don't want to feel like I'm watching some like tape that was pulled out of some fucking SWAT team heist that like shouldn't exist. Like I don't know. Like I just don't feel like I need that.
Yeah, but I mean, just because it said it's VHS 94 doesn't mean that all the shorts that we're going to be looking at took place in 94. These tapes, I mean, they could have been from 92 or 90.
Sure.
There's one in particular that says specifically from 94. There's one there specifically says that it's shot in 94, and which is why the quality of the tape is so good. So it could be a combination of either it could be the other shorts could be older. It could be from the 80s.
Well, sure.
Or
I mean,
because I was just gonna say, because people get off on this sort of thing, watching these kind of videos, the actual videos, is that so they're played over and over and over and over and over again. So when you do that, the tape starts, the quality of the tape starts to decline. So you get the static lines, you get the little jumps. It makes sense when you think about it.
No, and I agree. It does make sense, especially as we kind of work our way through the rapper. So you're right. I mean, it's not like these were all filmed in 1994, because a lot of these are probably filmed sooner than that. But I don't know. Like I don't need to have it look like it was filmed in that era to
immerse yourself.
Yeah, to immerse myself and to sort of like lose myself in it, and to have that like illusion of looking at it and being like, okay, yeah, like I feel like I'm in 1994 finding these videos. I just don't feel like I need that.
I mean, I've never had a video look like this. I mean, I've filmed my own stuff throughout the years on a handheld camcorder. I've replayed videos countless number of times. I've never had a videotape look like this. Only when a movie wants you to think it's old. So it just seems it was done to an extreme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beyond that, it didn't horribly take away from my experience. It just was, once I started watching it and getting more into it, I was, it was like, okay, it's okay, it's acceptable. Some looked better than others for sure. Like Timo's, I think looked, and that's the one that did take place in 94 because I had the timestamp on it. So that one looked like it was a little bit newer looking. But yeah, it's something I could have done without.
There were some of these glitches and jumps that were masking edits. I mean, there were complete, camera switch shots, but the dialogue 100% matched. I hated that.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember what short it was, but there was like they went from looking at the left side to the right side of someone because of a glitch, but the dialogue just ran through.
Yeah, no, I could I can see that, and I think there is a certain element of, just trying to immerse yourself in this and, kind of just going with it. And for me, there was definitely some of that. There's some, like, we'll talk a little bit more about details of them, but there was one in particular that, like, it kept cutting cameras, and like, who is editing this? Or are the folks in the cult editing it? Like, do they get the tapes and then edit them and then play them for people? Like, like, that's the thing that at the time, in hindsight, I can think back and say, okay, maybe somebody actually went back and edited this footage. But for instance, the one that comes to mind is the empty wake. That one kept cutting back and forth between cameras, and I was like, okay, well, clearly there's two different cameras here. So who's doing the editing? It's just one of those things that, like, for found footage, like, it just makes me wonder. And, now that I've seen the thing in its entirety, I can look back and say, okay, well, maybe someone did go back and edit it. But, it is one of those things as you're watching it, it kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys else agree with that.
Oh, no, I kind of agree with that.
Okay.
Well, to be pulled out of that because of that, and I agree. It's a technical, for lack of a better term, error that we're just set to accept. But I mean, if we're not going to accept that, then we shouldn't accept the Blair Witch Project as it switched back and forth on found footage, instead of and here it is presented to us in its spliced together form. Meanwhile, they use two cameras for that shoot. So to totally disregard what happens in the empty wake is to totally disregard what happens in the Blair Witch Project.
Well, no one said
now the question.
No one said total disregard. MZ, just to be clear, no one said total disregard. I said it bugged me.
No, but did it bug you when Blair Witch Project did it?
I honestly don't remember. I haven't seen it in 15, 20 years.
Jesus.
And we're also not reviewing the Blair Witch in this.
Yeah.
That's very true, Aries. Very good.
Well,
but I'm just making a comparison between the two. Now the only thing is the story strong enough where we can look past that? Is the story good enough? Are the scares good enough to get past that?
Yeah,
and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. So I guess we'll kind of go into the shorts, and we'll first talk about. So we talked a little bit about The Rapper. Let's talk about Storm Drain, which was directed by Chloe Okuno, and Hail Rotma, Raven Shadow.
So,
all right. Anyone have anything to say about this?
This might have been my favorite one.
Really? Okay.
It actually reminded me of the tunnel a little bit.
It did, yeah. I was totally thinking about that. It's very similar setup, yeah.
And by no means is that whatever the fuck. I don't want to go down the Aries rabbit hole of things being done this time that he got so upset about last week. Love you, boo.
If you mumble, I can't understand what you're saying.
I said, I love you, boo.
Don't call me boo.
Buddy.
Boo, buddy.
Brother. Friend.
Brother.
If you truly cared about me, you wouldn't mumble when you're trying to talk about me.
He has a point.
Well, then I will enunciate. You know how much I love your sexy ways. Thank you. But it did remind me of last week's tunnel. I liked the spunky Lois Lane-esque reporter that was doing her thing. And that I liked that. That made sense to me. That and even like the weird fucking dude with the fucking M16 or what. I like that one. And that one led into it. Also had the real like the cut to their footage, to the news report, to the denouement, which I thought was a good pop after the Connor Sweeney veggie. So.
It's funny. So they did the news report, and I thought when they went back to the news report, I thought that was going to be like almost like another narrative tool to kind of go between the different shorts. But I was actually surprised at how I actually liked that ending. I thought that was a great ending. As for the actual short itself, I thought it was fine. Like it's a fine entry. I think it's a good way to kick things off. It's not batshit crazy, but it has a slow kind of build to it, and then it builds to a crescendo when they find Ratma or Ratman, and I felt that was kind of a cool little reveal, especially with the character, with the what was he, like the pastor or the minister or something like that character that they interviewed earlier. So I thought that was kind of fun. It didn't like. This definitely is not going to top my favorites in the VHS franchise, but I thought it was a fine entry, and it was better than a lot of stuff that was probably in VHS viral.
Agree. I mean, nothing. It definitely it borrowed from some Geiger alien, right? Like let's be fair.
I mean, I guess I could see that. I didn't think of that when I watched it, but
I mean,
the creature itself is cool.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of movement. I could see that Guyver thing, but there was they didn't lead you to believe how it came to be.
Yeah. So, I thought the idea behind that was kind of cool, the reveal of Ratma. And the ending, once again, I thought was great. The news report. Like when she's just doing the news and then just randomly like starts saying Ratma, and then fucking vomits all over him. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that had a decent homage to like The Howling with Dee Wallace's character at the end of that. But I think it's a good short. I think it's appropriately placed as the first VHS short that we see. I thought it was kind of funny though to see the reporter is talking to the tunnel dweller that's in there, and he's all covered in mud or whatever.
Yeah, Bill
and he's
was
like,
his name or something. Bill,
yeah, and she's like getting a little freaked out, so she says, "Okay, we're gonna go. Here's my business card if you want to give me a call."
That was pretty good.
But I loved the way it was lit. The way it was lit was really, really cool because, I mean, you could see they're in a genuine location. So you never know where these people are. And because these people have no idea where they are, so we have no idea where they are. And that just makes it a little bit more intense. I feel like it lost a little bit, though, when they're in that whole opening and you got the preacher talking, and I kind of wish it was just like the Ratma, and like I said before, the Ratma creature is pretty cool. We get to see him a little bit. It looked like possible CGI when he was deep into the tunnel, but when the creature comes out and you only get like a quarter of just the front part of him, it's a pretty impressive looking creature. But overall, I mean, it's got a couple of decent scares, nothing overwhelming. And I think it sits perfectly fine where it is as being the first story.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I don't have a lot more. Okay. I don't have a lot more to add about this one here, Storm Drain. It was fine. I thought it was a good story. It was the right length, I think. Some of the other ones felt like they could have been maybe edited down a bit, especially for film that's like I think an hour and 47 minutes or something like that. Like I feel like there could have been a little bit more judicious editing in some of this, but this one I thought was fine in terms of the length and the editing.
I mean, because I definitely thought that because this could have gone a couple of different directions,
Mhm.
and I like that aspect of it where it wasn't obvious as to where it was going.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there was a little, they could have zagged, but I like that, and I did like the reveal of the Ratma, and I thought that was perfect. Not too much, not too little.
Yeah. Hey, I'm on board. Anything to add to that, Raven Shadow?
Oh, respect.
Respect.
I think I'll respect. I think some of these shorts could have been, culled down. Even if you cut off 20 minutes in the entirety of it, maybe throw in one more short.
So cut them down a little bit and add one more.
Yeah.
So you were fine with the runtime of it. The overall runtime, I mean.
Yeah, overall runtime was fine, but I would. We'll get into it.
Okay.
We'll get it.
So let me catch up on some chat stuff here. Creepy Girl says, I love the authentic feel, makes it more realistic. She said, that's the part I love about it. Working at a video store that sold VHS videos, the videos do get like that when they are watched over and over. That's the point they were trying to get across. And yeah, I mean, I totally understand that after the fact. While you're watching it, like it was a little distracting for me personally.
But we all had VHS, and yes, yes, Creepy Girl, I totally get that. But I mean, VHS wasn't terrible, right? I mean, we had tracking as an option.
Well, yeah, but the tapes do, as she's stating, and she's right, that when they're just watched over and over, they degrade. They get those static lines like MZ was mentioning. So it's not just a tracking thing; it's an actual, reduction in quality. So, and that's what they were going for.
But I mean, we're not talking about a movie that's 10 years old, though. This is a new tape.
Well, I mean,
how do you know?
Technically not. I mean, if you're following the film, we're watching tapes that were made and watched over and over.
Oh, how do you know that? One of them at least was made at the same year, and it is implied,
and that's the one that looked the best.
Yeah, but it is implied that this is not the first generation of this. This is a new series of a compilation they're putting out.
Yep.
So these are new movies. I interpreted these as all being new movies, and this is part 10, part 11 of whatever is being put out.
All right. Some more chat here. Marion says the messed up tracking really bothered me. It was too consistent, if that makes sense. And let's see. Creepy Girl says, if scenes were spliced together or perhaps repaired, you get a lot of static again. Worked in a video store, actually repaired VHS tapes too. We'd actually tape together rip tapes from people jerking them out of their players. Thought she was gonna say something else about about jerking.
Oh no, and I can understand the repairing of a tape, but the fact that the audio, not necessarily the audio, but the dialogue is seamless to what it's supposed to be. That is what bothered me about some of these jump cuts.
Fair, yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next one. I guess we'll talk real quick about this, but I did love the transition from Storm Drain to the Veggie Masher. Perfect, right? Because that's like, we all have VHS tapes that we go back and, like when we were watching them actively, we'd go back and watch, and invariably you'd tape over something else. And then as that thing ended, it would cut into like a commercial or something like that. Or you tape something off TV so you have all the commercials, right?
The Veggie Masher.
It's funny. I think this is crazy. You guys know this, or most of you guys know this, but I used to record all the WWE pay-per-views, and then I also used to do, for a while, I was recording Raw. This is before like SmackDown was on. So I used to record all of that shit, and I just like would catalog it and keep it, because if I had known that in the future I'd be able to stream anything I wanted, I never would have fucking done that and wasted the money and the time. But
But no, you got to have fucking Mick Foley doing a fucking giant sized overstuffed beef Ferrone commercial.
Well, that was,
You know?
and that was the thing. You never knew what was going to happen, right? So if you missed something, or if you wanted to show it to a friend, there's no way to share it online. You had to be just relay the story.
Right. It's like you would record if you if Cinemax was on, there'd be a different tape. But if it was like Aries is fucking Aries, like fucking.
Well, you gotta go fucking weird, don't you?
We're on a podcast.
Taping wrestling, you gotta go fucking Skinamax.
Monster Zero is below you in the fucking Brady Bunch fucking little thing we have going on.
What does that have to do with anything?
What? Maniac. You're insane, Monster. But you're saying, all right, whatever the fuck. All I'm saying is that we record things to watch later, either with our friends or by ourselves. And I think we can all get behind that.
Yes, we can all get behind breathing too. I mean, what's your point?
Not Raven Shadow. He likes to breathe smoke.
No, I took a breath 6 hours ago. I'm good.
I'm good. So just the point was, the point I was going to make is I used to cut out commercials on that stuff so I could save tape, right? You'd pause during the commercial break and then unpause when it comes back on. But part of me wishes I didn't do that because it would be fun to go back and watch those commercials, right?
Oh yeah, well, because right now you can see those matches online, but you can't see those commercials.
Right.
And you were talking, and I was actually, that was where my mind went. I'd love to see those commercials.
Yeah.
I want to see those matches. I want to see those commercials.
It's a snapshot in time, and it's so funny because I didn't really want to get off on a tangent about commercials, but oftentimes the commercials were the memes before they were memes, right? Remember what's up? Everyone fucking did that shit, right?
T-shirts. They were
that was almost like the meme of the cable era, right?
Right.
Budweiser.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a JCV Kaboom box, or the fucking
there you go.
And the 1-800 Collect, or whatever the fuck it was, with David Arquette. Shit like that.
Yeah. 10-10-2-20.
The double wins. Nothing.
So, it's one of those things that, it was, once again, it was like a snapshot in time, and it's just interesting to think back to it. The Veggie Masher, if that was an actual thing, that's something we would remember fondly, and I think they captured that so perfectly, right? I kind of want to play it now because it was so fucking hilarious. Let me see if I can find it.
It was about the sunkenness in Connor Sweeney's eyes.
Yeah.
That had of pain behind it, and it's why he's a fucking brilliant actor. Put him in a fucking.
All right,
I wonder how many different names they came up with. They were like, no, that exists already. No, that exists already. Of all the stupid infomercial gadgets that are out there.
Yeah, totally. No, yeah. Well, here's. I just want to play a little bit of this because it was fucking hilarious. So let me play the Veggie Masher.
Compression technology, the Veggie Masher turns your ordinary drab vegetables into a tasty, mouth-watering paste in mere seconds. Just mash and enjoy. With the Veggie Masher from Wonder Health, you can finally unleash the full vitamin and nutrient potential of carrots, broccoli, peppers, peas. So why wait? Call this toll-free number and order now. The Veggie Masher from Wonder Health, a subsidiary of...
Oh, I kind of want to call that number. I wonder if it's legit.
I bet there's some cool recording on the end of that number.
Oh, play it again.
Do you want me to call it?
Yeah. Veggie Masher.
All right. I'm actually going to call the number. Do you guys have anything else?
You're going to call the number? Okay.
To add while I do that? Please, someone talk, because I got to dial the number.
Oh, God, yeah, no. I mean, I just love the ridiculousness of the Veggie Masher. I mean, it's just essentially chewing your food for you. But it's so absurd, but people would probably buy that if they actually did an infomercial for it.
I mean, to be fair, Gerber made a fucking business plan on that. Like it's mush, right? That's fun.
All right, here it is. Let's call the Veggie Masher. See if anything happens.
If Connor Sweeney answers, I will fuck.
Yeah. Nothing yet. Is it ringing? No.
I don't know. It didn't do anything.
Is it 555?
No. It's 1-800. Oh, it is 555. Fuck.
Oh,
Is it real?
Jesus, mother.
I was just dialing. Yeah, I saw the 800.
Dude, fuck 555.
Let me try one more time. I know it's not going to do anything, right?
Oh, you fucking fell for it. I thought you were better than that.
Yeah, nothing. Okay. That's too bad.
Thank you for calling PayPal. This call may be monitored or recorded. If you are calling with a question about your SPA Paycheck Protection Program loan, please press the pound key now. If you are calling about a loan builder loan application, press 1. If you've previously received a loan builder loan from us and are looking
Okay. I had to figure out how to remove it.
Wait.
That was the fucking
PayPal
number.
gives loans?
Yeah. What the hell?
I did not know that. Let me get that number down. Ugh.
I'm gonna message Connor Sweeney right now and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, what the fuck? We tried to call.
My friend.
Evil Corny says still waiting on that Cash App, Aries. Just saying.
As soon as I figure out how to do that.
Creepy Girl says, I really think they were trying to be authentic. I personally love that kind of stuff, but if you guys don't, you don't. I just think it's harder to create that kind of look, so I respect that effort. Well, it's actually not hard. I mean, you just put it through whatever editing program you do and put a filter on it. It's super easy. But I appreciate they're going for that aesthetic. I just feel in this day and age I don't need to be immersed. I don't need to feel like I'm watching like a copy of 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 Faces of Death. I can suspend disbelief enough to go along with it. So
yeah, we know what they're doing. We can jump on board.
Yeah. But I'm glad it worked. I'm glad it worked for Creepy Girl. I didn't hate it. I'm just saying, like I would have preferred it without it. So that's just me. So Veggie Masher, fucking awesome. I would have liked to seen 2 hours of Connor Sweeney promoting the Veggie Smasher, Veggie Masher. I mean, I could have taken a whole film of that, Raven Shadow.
I would eat so much more carrots.
I know.
Yeah.
What if he mashed them for you?
If he would come over and we just like mash vegetables for him.
Just vibe and mash. Vibe and mash.
Connor, listen, I'm off on Monday. It's fucking Indigenous People Day in New England.
It's also Thanksgiving in Canada. Canadian Thanksgiving.
That's the real fucking Thanksgiving. It makes more sense before the fucking cold.
Before the cold?
Before
What
the
the
cold?
fuck?
You can't eat a big meal in the cold?
No, fucking God. Why wouldn't the harvest, Thanksgiving should have been earlier. Thanksgiving should be in October, right? The real Thanksgiving.
Well, it's when
Why?
It's when it is.
Fine.
Why should it be earlier?
Why?
Fine, no, because everyone's fine. No, I'm
Don't say fine. Explain yourself.
saying fine. I would say the real Canada Thanksgiving makes more sense to be the real Thanksgiving. Right?
Why?
Far be it from our Millbury High textbooks to lie to us or to
Okay, I want you to explain why.
Because wouldn't it's when you harvest the shit? Like you're getting ready for the fucking in November, you ain't doing no fucking yard work. You ain't fucking, picking the plums. You ain't picking the fucking gourds. You know what I mean? Everything's dead. Everything's dead.
Not everything's dead.
Well, fine. Well, I'm fucking
Things
still alive.
still get harvested in the fall.
But wouldn't it be more better if the Thanksgiving be in the October before it gets
when there are still things to be harvested down in this area?
fine.
If you're thinking of the harvest, it makes more sense that Canada, further north, getting cold earlier, has their harvest earlier than we do down here in the South. Now, mind you, you're just thinking of New England when the whole country, when the Midwest could be harvesting in mid-November.
Well, to be
Correct?
fair, the Northeast is America. Okay. Everything else is a spinoff.
Yeah, so make a joke of your narrow-minded thinking with the whole November being too late.
Thank you. I'm just saying that Canadians do it better sometimes.
Then move to Canada.
Yeah. Raven Shadow, if you got a problem with it, why don't you take it up with former President George Washington?
George Washington Bush? Yeah.
Because he declared Thursday, Thursday, November 26th, as a day of public Thanksgiving. But in years following, it was announced by presidential proclamation by Abraham Lincoln to make it the last Thursday of November. So talk to one of those dudes.
All right. Fucking, well, it worked out real well calling the fucking Veggie Masher line. What's Abraham?
What's Abraham Lincoln's number?
Yeah, it's probably 555. Oh, you one fucking top hat or some shit. Like, I mean,
I tell you what, I know where he's buried. I'll give the address. You can go there right now.
That's good.
Actually, it's probably not that far from me, right?
It isn't that far from me.
All right, on location. Be right back.
I'd rather call Abe Froman the Sausage King of Chicago than Abraham Lincoln. I mean, he's good. I mean, yeah. I'll call, what's Daniel Day-Lewis doing?
Jesus
Abe
Christ.
Froman.
All right. What's the next short we can talk about, please?
Aries, don't make him.
Please.
Aries, make America great again.
Oh God.
No, don't even fucking associate that with me.
Oh no, good.
Why would you
not.
say that? Why would you say
You
that?
should change that hat to a red one.
Why would you say
and
that?
make it?
No, why?
Canada.
I don't know. Don't that I disassociate myself from that
Why
statement.
would you say that?
I don't know why Aries said that.
No, you. I'm talking to you, motherfucker.
Oh, motherfucker.
No, he wants America to win.
Really? You're gonna try to win this fight by a low blow?
Much like Mortal Kombat, the first one, I will do the sidekick to advance.
Fucking the Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, yeah. You know I love you, buddy. You know.
All right, next short.
Creepy Girl says, "I understand what you're saying, Raven Shadow. You make a good point."
Thank you, Creepy Girl.
He does not. She should understand this. She's in the South. The
Creepy
harvest is further away down there.
Creepy Girl is so smart.
When was the last time you had a garden?
I thought he was gonna say something else. It begins with G.
I think when we went to Olive Garden after that Red Sox game.
No. When was the last time you grew anything? Anything?
He grew his beard.
Yeah.
Right, Raven Shadow?
Oh, we lost MZ.
Yeah, I grew my hair.
MZ.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't have a green
You know what? When you start growing fruits or vegetables, you can start speaking on harvesting.
I can't wait. He's gonna wear in fucking Oshkosh Bagosh, and fucking like a little hat.
I do get a hat.
What
All
else
right, Marion,
called? Suspenders? Not suspenders. The overalls. That's what I mean.
Yeah. The Hillbilly Jim.
Was it Oshkosh Bagosh? Was that it?
Yeah, Oshkosh Bagosh.
Okay. Hillbilly Jim.
All right.
Okay,
Let's
so
put your headphones back on, MZ.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Moving
Can
on.
you hear us? MZ.
MZ.
Headphones. Headphones.
He doesn't care.
Headphones.
He's so dumb.
All right.
So
next,
MZ, I want to tell you how to raise a garden.
all right. Next one. Let's talk about The Empty Wake. This one was directed by Simon Barrett. Simon Barrett recently directed a film called Seance, which is also on Shudder, and he's written a lot of stuff. He originally got his start not his start, but he also worked on the first VHS. He actually did 2 segments. He wrote 2 of the segments in the first VHS. He worked on ABCs of Death. He worked on VHS 2, and then he ended up writing The Guest, which by and large I think we liked. He wrote the Blair Witch remake. He wrote Temple. He wrote Seance, which he also directed. And next, he wrote the script for the I Saw the Devil remake, which may or may not happen. I don't even know where that's at right now. It looks like it doesn't have a director attached to it. So, but yeah. So Simon Barrett did The Empty Wake, and I'll just come out and say this was my least favorite. I generally feel like this felt like something that could have been more on like a creep show style. I feel like this felt a little out of place amongst the other ones. Not to say that it was like terrible. Like I didn't dislike it, but it felt out of place and it was a little bit too plotting. Like it just kind of like was a little bit too slow. But while I will agree that I feel the build really added to, to where it went, I still feel like it just felt out of place for me. That's just my opinion.
I would agree 100%, Johnny.
Timestamp.
Thank you. Well, you fucking, except when you say some negative things. But no, I think it had a good. It had a build to it, but I think this kind of shot itself in the foot early on, and I would have liked. And once again, it's very easy to play armchair director, after the fact. I mean, I that kind of stuff, but I think it kind of blew its load too quick. So, I say they're in the right term to use, but like. It could have built more on the tension. Maybe have some other people showing up. I would buy the premise of videotaping the ceremony. So they kind of set up why they were having a tape there.
Yeah, but the whole idea of like switching out the tapes felt like what? Why?
Yeah, and
it's a trouble with that, I guess.
And once again, even with we don't know the person who died, and I kind of like how they did the reveal, but still, like we live in New England, there's fucking snow and whatever the fuck, rain, you're still gonna have your parents or your main family, right? For that kind of fucking money, you're fucking someone's showing up. I just felt that it could have built on the tension more with having more people still have the isolation in the call times. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, thank
you. MZ or Aries, do you guys have any thoughts?
I mean, I didn't buy the videotaping because even now, when it's so easy to record something, you don't record awake like that, especially multiple camera angles. That just seemed very, very out of place for what that was, and especially to have cameras running at an empty wake, and for someone new to the whole thing to be manning it by herself.
Right. That wouldn't happen. I mean, yeah.
No, it would not. Yes. And also, this whole thing was just way too long.
Yeah.
I don't feel it built any tension having it be that long.
Like
you knew where it was going. I felt no added tension to it. If this was a third of the length, I would have loved this because the punchline was great. The build-up, I was so bored.
Yeah, I will agree. I think if this was,
I agree.
Good.
I agree. this was a little slow, but there was a certain atmosphere going on. You're in an empty. I mean, you got this one person who's in an empty funeral home, pouring rain outside, thunder and lightning. So the mood is there, the atmosphere is there, and Aries is right. There was, for the most part, it was rather dull. But it's because of that ending just comes up and just grips you by the throat, and it's a great ending. I think it was, and I think the effect that this ending had was really, really well done. No doubt it was probably done with like a green screen cap or a blue screen cap, whatever they use. But the effect was definitely there. It was so good.
Yeah, I think this one was 22 minutes or roughly about that. And I feel like even 10 minutes would have been better personally and still would have got the point across.
Yeah, but I liked this one. I really did. I think it's the weakest of the bunch. And yet I still say that this should be, well, actually, let me retrace my steps here and correct myself. I'll say that this should have been the first one, and the first one should have been the second one.
I disagree with that, just because I feel that this is too slow to start.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah, I might have lost interest, and you probably would have lost some people.
If I wasn't watching this for the show, and this was the first one, I definitely would have turned it off.
Yeah, but at least I mean, if you didn't like it that much, the only place the rest of the movie can go is up. So, I mean, what have you got to lose?
Another hour and a half. Yeah, exactly. I would have turned it off. Like I said, I would have turned this off. Don't say no. I'm not lying to you.
Yes, you are.
I
like this. I like this one. It's still the weakest of the bunch, but that ending really, it saved it from being a total disaster.
Do you mean
like I said, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Aries.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, if this was a third shorter, this would have been the best short. But the fact that it was so long hurt it. They didn't build any tension by having it be this long, because there was no secret to where this was going.
And
I mean, I think some of the effect. Sorry.
When you talk about the ending, MZ, do you mean the very end, like the last 10 seconds, or do you mean the build to?
Oh, the build to it.
Okay, because I didn't like the very end of this, but the build, I thought that was the best part for me, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the part where the cat with the thing with the casket and everything, that's very haunted house like. I didn't like that too much, especially since you're in a dark area. Just the way things operate, in a haunted house. That's pretty much what you got there is haunted house effects going on with the casket. But after that, it was total gold.
And I did like the usage of the was it the storm horn? I don't know what you call that.
That was a tornado warning.
Tornado warning.
So this was Midwest, and that is what happened at the very end.
Yeah.
Which would explain why no one would show up for this wake if there was tornado warnings in the area.
Yeah, and I actually thought that like the ending of this was good. Like the parts where where we start hearing the tornado warning. Like I thought that bit was good, but yeah, getting there was a little hard, and then the end, I actually didn't really. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I don't really understand the very last scene.
I think that kind of leaves it up to the viewer's interpretation. It also the very last scene is also why it leads up to that, if that makes sense. Like, because they don't explain anything in this really. So, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but you got to buy into why this is a short, as to be able to buy into the ending.
Yeah. How about you, Ray Chow? Anything else to add before we move on?
No, I thought there was some fun effects in this. Yeah.
All right.
Dynamite drop.
Yeah. Next up is The Subject from Timo. So in this one, we have sort of like a Dr. Frankenstein type of character who is making these like cyborg like monster combinations, and they kind of show his, like, the first person the found footage part comes from his experiments of video recording his experiments for posterity's sake and to show the world what he did and all that. So it's kind of like the villain kind of giving away his plan. And so, I thought this was, I'll just come out and say this was my favorite of the bunch. And this had a very big video game feel to it for me, like a Doom or like a first person shooter type of game, like in elements. And I thought that it was the bloodiest, it was the most violent, it was just I think the smartest one. Like it took a simple premise and really played it up until a crescendo where it just kept building and building, and it got more and more nuts. And even though the concept was basic, but really fucking cool, and the creations, the monsters, I thought were outstanding. They were great looking, and for me, this one just worked really well, and this was my favorite of the bunch.
I will agree. This is my favorite of the bunch as well. It's action-packed, hyper-gory. The monsters are very inventive. The CGI has a little bit to be desired for.
There was one shot I agree with. Yeah, one shot that left me a little cold.
Yeah. But everything can't be perfect.
Yep.
But this is the best one of the bunch. It's like you said, it takes a simple premise and turns it on its ear, and it's active. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of gunplay, a lot of violence, a lot of slashings and killings, decapitations. I mean, you name it.
Oh man, there was a couple really like eviscerations, like bodies getting cut in half, heads fucking rolling. Yeah, like this, and Timo, like, I mean, Night Comes for Us, I think, is probably one of our favorite films overall that we've done on the show. Like, just collectively, I'm not going to say it's everyone's favorite, but collectively, we sung that's praises. And Timo, like Headshot, and so many of the films he's done, like, I love this dude, and he gets it. Like, he just got in there, he gave you a little setup, and then he got right to it, and then he fucking gave you a body count. That's what you want out of this. For me personally, that's what I want out of this. And this was fun as hell, and it was inventive, it was violent, and it just was fucking badass. Boom.
It was the best. Wow, mic drop, Johnny. It was the best looking short out of all.
Yeah, and it looked the best. Agreed. Yeah.
It definitely had feel. So while I said I think from a short perspective, I liked the first one, probably mostly because of Constantine, and his involvement. This is definitely the best look.
Jesus Christ, you're mumbling. I didn't understand anything you just said.
You're mumbling too much.
Well, I'm
you drinking Mumble-Wano over there?
Mumble-Wano, that's funny. All right, well, fucking whatever the fuck.
And you're gonna mumble again. Jesus Christ! You're like, I love this movie because, and the best part about it,
I'm not.
That's what we're hearing.
Well, then you can come over, dude.
Don't come over. It's what you're broadcasting. It really isn't about what we hear. It's about what the listeners hear.
They're
And
fine.
right now, we are the listeners.
It's all about the listeners, right?
Just for the film.
What did you like about this?
The
In the flipper gibber.
flippity gibbets.
The flippity gibber.
Have you guys ever heard the Mumble song? It came out a bunch of years ago. No?
Raven Shadow has a single?
All right, well, go fuck yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Creepy Girl says this reminded me of Frankenstein's Army, one of my favorite films. Have you guys seen that? We did. We actually did it on the show. Way back. I'll look it up in a moment. It was pretty early on, though. I know that. We did it on episode 54. I want to say that was the episode that we had R.A. Salvatore, maybe. I'll look it up.
I mean, this movie was kind of gross, right? There was some gross things
in this short. This one's in specific.
Yeah.
Let's see. Frankenstein's Army. Oh, we had Gino Salvatore, R.A. Salvatore's son. So we had Gino on to talk about their Kickstarter campaign, and then we talked about Frankenstein's Army. That was way back in 2013, August 2013. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like Timo had fun with this. He ran with it. He made it like hyper violent. We got some great gore. This is by far had the best gore in any of these, like bar none. And this felt to me like this is what I want from VHS. This is it. And he delivered like and then some. So
yeah, now this is by far the best of these, but also I had like the most problems with it. Like there were all the edits involved in a found tape for what this was supposed to be. But it was kind of, you could look past that for what this was, for what they were getting across. But what I couldn't like really bothered me, there was one shot where someone is supposed to get their head blown off, and then they edit it to some guy with a turtleneck pulled up, and they really stick on that. And it's just like, okay, that looks awful. You should not focus on that. And they really stayed with that shot far too long. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because it just, that stands out because they, with all the great effects that happened in this short, that was just like front and center. Like, why would you do that? Like, find a better way. You had CG, you could have CG'd that out, and it would have looked far better than a turtleneck pulled over someone's 3/4 of their face.
Anyone else? I don't know if you guys had anything else to add about this one. No. But yeah, this to me was the strongest one, and I honestly, like, I'm not saying that this is the only reason, but the fact that it looked more modern to me really did play a part. And it just, because you can't, like, I like watching cinema. I'm not going to choose to watch VHS now. If I have the ability to watch a movie, I'm going to watch it in as high a resolution as I can, unless there's a reason to watch it in a lower, if I want to watch like Bad Taste or something like that, and the 4K isn't available yet, maybe I would watch a fucking VHS of it, which I have, but chances are I want to watch it in the best resolution. I want to watch it in the way in which it was filmed, So for me, like this one looked good. This one, you can see the lighting, you can see, like, it's just art. Like it's cinema. And, once again, I get the conceit. I totally understand. But I just would have I think the films would have stood a little bit better. They would have looked better, been presented better. Like, I have no interest in watching, like a snuff film from the 80s. Like, I'm never going to watch that, So, like, for me.
I will.
MZ's like, oh, you may not, but I will.
On Tuesday.
You do own August Underground, don't you, MZ?
No, I sold that actually.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you
sold
used
that a couple years ago. Yes.
So, yeah. Anything else? You guys have anything else to say about this one? All right. Let's move on. And next one is from director Ryan Prowse, and that is Terror. So this one was interesting. Obviously, Ryan Prowse, director of Low Life, fucking once again one of our favorite movies over the course of this show. I would say top 10 Raven Shadow at least, right?
Right. I mean, it's in the Trick or Treat Radio pantheon.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Low Life, Night Comes for Us would be fair to be put in there.
Yeah, and we had Ryan on the show before to just talk about Low Life, and awesome dude, great interview. Can't wait for the next stuff. Night Patrol is going to be his next film, I believe. So I was super excited to see that he was included in this because I think he's a great up and coming filmmaker, and really wanted to see what he was going to do with this. So, what did you guys think of his short Terror?
What?
Go ahead, MZ. No, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I would say leave it to a guy whose first film had a giant swastika on his face to do his next film about militia.
Yeah.
So I can see a theme going with this director here. But I'll tell you, this was, to me, this was the scariest of the bunch. Not because of the story, but because of the militia.
Yep.
It's very telling in today's world. If this is 1994, then 27 years later, this kind of thing is still just as relevant.
Yeah, because they talk about Bill Clinton.
Yeah, and it's still just as scary. So it's a very unsettling piece. Now, as far as what their plan is, I found that to be a little odd, yet odd. I really don't know how else to put it. I was so, I don't want to say the phrase put off. I wasn't put off. I was kind of, all right, let's say spooked. I was, it got a little spooky with the whole militia deal going on, that it's hard to maintain attention to what their plan is, because they're just so over the top yet realistic.
Right. It's like what could possibly be scarier than these fucking guys?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they're coming up with a plan to detonate.
Because there were certain key words that were used that were like, oh fuck, yep, that's what these fucking guys say. That's not good. But then a little bit, I'm like, oh, is there some kind of supernatural chicanery going on? And that's kind of where I kind of like flipped a little bit. But yeah, right. Once again, there's nothing more terrifying than a mortgage payment, cancer, leaky roofs, or fucking militias. I'll take my chances with fucking Jason in the Woods. But to be fair, yeah, a whole bunch of white dudes with camo and guns. That's not fun. I don't want to go to that.
Yeah, and they happen to be like in Michigan, and that's like seems to be like the fucking like center of like fucking militia, of this fucking white militia shit,
Mustaches and fucking mullets flowing, camo. That's not fun.
Yeah, really bad facial hair.
Yeah.
Wearing flannel and their guns and their beer. It's like, It's a dangerous crowd to get around, man.
Well, to be fair, this is before 94. Flannels, mullets, I mean, that was all fashion at that point.
Yeah, true.
No, I mean flannel
But
is
the
ever-
only one, but the militia seems to have stuck, kind of taken that to heart and made it their own.
So yeah, I mean, I think overall, the thing I like about Ryan Prowse, and granted, we've only seen low life in this, but he takes very real sort of real life concepts and almost makes them into horror, right? Like that's sort of his thing. Even low life wasn't a horror per se; it was more of a kind of a crime movie, but it had elements. It was violent. But I think that is like one of the biggest strengths of his is playing that up and something that is mundane and everyday sort of thing and making it scary, and showing us how fucking scary real life can actually be. So I think that there is something sort of elegant to that. And, obviously he's not showing this in a positive light. There are some, I guess, that could do that. And you could argue that Craig Zaller's stuff, as we've talked about, toes the line a little bit, right? Especially with, what was the last one? Not Brawl and Cell Block, Dragged Across Concrete. Great movie, but it toes that line between romanticizing that sort of thing where you're just not sure if they are or not, But in this, it's clear that these are like deplorable fucks that we are supposed to hate, and shows the scary side of them,
What's funny, even he was ahead of the curve with the Ice Agents. We talked about that was before when that movie was made. That was right before things were kind of getting weird. Am I right in that?
Did you say
correct?
I thought you said Ice Age at first. You said you said ISIS, right?
No, Ice Agents.
Oh, Ice Agents. Okay, I thought you said Ice Age. I gotcha. Okay, yeah. It was probably that was a thing, but not quite in the news as much as it would be after. Yeah.
Right. And he touched on something that was, obviously it was happening, but before it was maybe in the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Largest.
Well, I mean, this was kind of it. It's going, obviously backwards, but this is touching on stuff that was happening at that time. I mean, this is a bunch of buffoons got their hands on a weapon, but back in that time, you had the hell was the motherfucker's name? Timothy McVeigh with the Oklahoma City bombing. I mean, that is what this is mirroring.
Yes.
Even with their attack with that. I mean, this almost I don't remember the year of the Oklahoma City bombing, but this seems like was
95.
95. So this happened before that. So this almost seems like Timothy McVeigh could have gotten his idea from these motherfuckers.
True. Yeah,
but used an actual explosive.
Yeah, I think that's a good call out. And I didn't even, it didn't cross my mind, but now that you mention it, I think that probably was an inspiration.
I'll say this though, the gunshots to the head, some of the best I've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
These were phenomenal. I mean, ultra realistic.
The first one I didn't like.
No?
That was with the prisoner guy? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. That one I didn't like. I didn't think that looked good. Yeah. The angle didn't seem to mesh for me. The other ones I did like, just the first one.
No, I was thinking back and I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, wait, you didn't like it? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, now I remember who you're talking about. I completely skipped over that guy. So yeah. But the rest were fucking fat boob, babe.
Babe, don't call me babe.
Yeah, they were talking about like the fall of the American Empire and like, because this is still, while this may have very well been a group that could have been around in 94, this is still like, this is probably the biggest problem in the country right now. Well, one of the biggest problems in the country, if not the biggest, is, these fucking like white militia dudes who think that white people own this country, and, and live outside the laws and can do whatever the fuck they want because of the color of their skin,
At any point in this short, you could have put a banner with a certain name behind them, and it would have been 100% believable.
Yep. And they start bringing in Jesus is king, Jesus is king, Jesus is king. Right here, pal.
Right here, pal. Yeah. So I think that, I will say, I guess the negative for me is this one felt, once again, maybe a little bit too long. I felt like this one could have been shortened a little bit and still gotten the point across. But overall, this was, this one worked, but I think that it could have been edited down a little bit.
Not necessarily edited down for me, but edited differently. Like they seem to jump over parts they shouldn't have, but dragged out parts they didn't need to.
Okay, yeah. So, did this do anything for you guys for Ryan Prowse as a director? Does it make you want to see more? Does it make you want to see him do like other stuff? Or because obviously he's someone that we really enjoyed from watching Lowlife.
I am down.
Well, he's got a. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, MZ.
Go MZ.
Oh. Well, he has a knack for bringing bad things in the real world to light in his films, like in Lowlife, he brought to life the what was it, the not organ exchange, black market organ exchange, but the
like human trafficking,
black market
trafficking.
Yeah, black market baby swapping, selling, whatever, human trafficking. Yeah, and then he brings up to light here with the militia. It wanted a more entertaining movie than the other. This one takes itself pretty seriously, and yeah, with this kind of a concept, you have to take it seriously. Even though the project that they're creating for mass domination is a little bit far-fetched, the concept of the militia certainly is not, and that's scary enough. Okay, so this one worked for me, not because of the not biological, but the detonation weapon that they're trying to create, but just the militia themselves, and they were really on point. They were pretty realistic.
Yeah. Although this short could have benefited from Teddy Bear from Lowlife. A little bit more Teddy Bear. And Randy.
Seriously, Randy couldn't have been somewhere in a cameo. What the fuck?
Imagine that, yeah.
I would have fucking...
I don't know. Was the actor who played Randy in this?
No.
He wasn't in it?
No.
But if I had Sweeney and fucking Randy in a picture, I would pop like a motherfucker.
Okay, so that'll wrap up that one. I just want to get back real quick to the rapper of Holy Hell. I actually really like the end of the rapper. That was my favorite part. I feel like the beginning was just whatever, like it was fine, but I think the end, I actually wish that there was more of that. Like once the last short had played and it is kind of showing the outcome of what happened, and I just thought that was like, I don't know, like I want to know more about that. It ended off on shit, like, okay, like I wanted more of that. Why didn't you give me more of that in the wrapper? Because that's kind of a cool way to end it, you know?
I'll agree with that it was a little lackluster because there wasn't more of an explanation involved.
Yeah. And, you know, and it was almost like, I won't want to say too much, but it was almost like a subversion on a very famous horror trope. And that was, you know, that was one thing I thought was really cool about it. And I think they even call out the trope in it, you know, Final Girl, like, you know, there's something about that. And I just thought that was like kind of a cool way to end it. So I probably would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that, but I guess in a sense it would have killed the reveal at the end that they give you. So I understand the why they went with it that way, but I feel like I would have liked a little bit more of that earlier on. And also,
I can understand the killing of the story if you reveal too much early on.
Yeah.
But they could have had the wraparound drag out more.
Yeah.
I mean, they had these stories kind of go on where you could have had the wraparound be more of a story, and that would have been more unique to this story. You know, whereas the wraparound usually is just kind of a whatever story. If you had made this more of pinnacle to the whole thing and not drag out, but be more at the end of it and that be the climax to it, that would have made this more unique for this genre.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd agree. The thing I like is once again the subversion of it, and then also just kind of what they were. It led to a larger story that I wanted to know more of, and you know maybe something that they'll explore, but like this cult, I thought was cool. Like I liked when they were doing the raid at the beginning, and we could hear, you know, their chants, like, or not the chants, but like what was playing. You know, I don't remember what it was, but you know, whatever was being broadcast of like, you know, watching the videos and stuff like that, like I thought was cool, and I would have liked to know a little bit more about that. So, do you guys have any more comments about the end of the wrapper?
Well, just one more comment on the wrapper itself, not necessarily the ending. Some of the chatter that was going on through the earpieces felt a little more video game-esque than real life.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever played a video game that has like comms you're supposed to be listening to.
Yeah.
It just had that more feel to it to me.
Yep.
All right, and while I have the mic, I am still listening. I just need to get up and stretch my legs. So I'm still here. You just won't see me.
Thank you, Aries. That's very kind of you to tell the listeners.
I know everyone's concerned, you know, so just want to say that.
Wow.
My legs have been bothering me. That's all.
That's nice to hear. It's too bad that other hosts don't do that.
What a nice man. No, I fucking said I went.
Ribchow, I'm not attacking you. Why are you defending yourself?
Because you are attacking me.
No, I'm not.
Did he say your name?
Yeah, did I say your name?
No, you didn't have to. You implied it. You're being passive aggressive.
And you see how amazing this is? You can hear me, but you don't see me?
Yeah, that's bugging me out too, by the way.
I'm doing a little jig over here right now.
That's weird.
If we didn't have to hear him, it'd be perfect.
Oh,
Wow.
motherfucker. You hurt my feeling.
So, Angry Townsman just commented on YouTube, and he says, just finished the movie, and I'm not sure how I feel. I was not a fan of the rapper.
Fair.
All right.
Yep.
So, we'll do a verdict, and when we do the verdict, everyone will say what their favorite short was, and maybe we'll compare it to the other VHS films. If I know Aries may not have reviewed them all with us because he wasn't here for every episode, but you know, I'd be curious to see where this kind of sits amongst the other VHS films for everybody. So let's do that verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
What
wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time, and we're going to let you know whether VHS 94 was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts we may have, starting with Monster Zero.
Well, I'll just say it right now. This is the best of the VHS films that I have watched. It's got a. I think the rapper is just fine. I think the wraparound is just fine. I think it's exciting. It's got, it's got purpose. It's not just a bunch of people walking around in a house. This time they're walking around in a gigantic fucking warehouse, and so there's a purpose with the SWAT team being there. Got a hot lead. They want to know what's going on. They come across these tapes. So, no, of course, the idea of just, these guys hunting down these people who own these tapes, just sitting around and watching them. I mean, you got to suspend disbelief a little bit on this, otherwise you wouldn't have a movie. But this is easily the best VHS film by a wide margin. I really like this. The one I didn't like the most was what was it? Empty
Wake.
What's it called? Empty Wake. That could have been a little better. The best was Timo's.
The Subject.
Whatever. Subject. Yeah. That was cool. I wasn't too sure about how well that was going to be from the very first shot we get in that short, with the head on like a spider body, human head on a spider body, like a metallic spider body.
Yeah.
That was I was a little sketchy with that, but he came through hardcore. Such a good short. And the other two are no slouches either. They're really good as well. Scary and intense for a variety of reasons. So this is definitely a treat.
All right. Let's go to Aries.
Yeah, I mean, this usually with an anthology, you can find one of the stories that are just awful and bad and you hate it. There's not one in this movie that is bad. There are aspects of each story that are lacking, but that can be said with any movie. There are parts of some of these stories that do drag on, and they could have been better if the short was shorter. But all in all, this was a very enjoyable anthology to watch. The wraparound I thought was unique, although still a little lacking because was still short for what it was. I think this could have been more unique and had stretched more on towards the end of the story, and been its own short beyond just a wraparound. But all in all, this movie is very enjoyable to watch. So check this out. This movie is a treat.
All right, Michael Ravenshadow.
So this is a bit of a struggle for me. My love for most of the creators involved is known. I think Low Life, Night Comes for Us, I mentioned it before, are in the pantheon of the films we've discussed on this show. I adore them, and I want posters and I want action figures out of all the cast. I didn't love this movie. I enjoyed the discussion that we had, and in fact, I'm rethinking maybe some things that I watched, but I don't know. Maybe it was the right time or the wrong time or the wrong mindset, but I didn't love this film upon the first watch, and maybe that's me. Waking up today on Facebook, so many friends and contributors were speaking this movie's praises. So I'm not saying whatever my feeling is, it's not a knock to the creators. I just don't think the way this anthology was framed just didn't work for me. I think it was a bad mixtape, or it not bad mixtape, but maybe it was just ill-conceived in its placement. If you love gore, there's gore here. Make no mistake about it. You will see gore in this picture, but it's always a struggle. And maybe I'm just kind of found footage movies out for at least a couple of fucking weeks after everything. Not for nothing. Big ups, Double D.
We're doing another one next week. Just kidding.
Are you fucking really?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Fucking A. But no, for me, it's a tepid treat. Just me, dog. Love what you love, boo.
All right. And for me, this one's a treat. I liked more than I didn't like, and I would say that even the one that I didn't that I felt was the weakest was still a solid short. I just felt like it felt out of place amongst the others, and that's the thing that really made it stick out a little bit. One thing I meant to bring up earlier, but so a lot of what they did here was, so I actually was wrong. I stated earlier that they probably just put this through a filter, but they actually didn't. This is the filmmakers shot their segments at 29.97 frames per second to emulate the shot-on-video aesthetic. And according to director Chloe Okuno, the segment Storm Drain was inspired by horror films Wreck and the documentary Dark Days. Says that it was shot digitally and then converted to tape and played over multiple times to purposely degrade the footage. So that seemed like it was a legit thing. It wasn't just a filter or, like a wash on it afterwards or in post-production. It seems like they legit shot it and then, degraded it. And also the one that we seem to like the least, I think, director Simon Barrett, who did The Empty Wake, he explained that his short was inspired by the 1967 Soviet horror film V and his desire to direct a film with the premise of someone having to watch over a corpse. And you've seen that, right, MZ?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Certainly not as imaginative as V, but I could definitely see the comparisons.
Okay. But that's kind of cool. I mean, at least we get a sort of a point of reference for what he was going for, what he was inspired by. And let me see. I think there's something else I was going to mention about it. I think I think that's about it. But yeah, for me, so I generally I dug this. My favorite one was definitely the Timo one, with the subject by far my favorite. I thought the others were all good. I did have some issues here and there, and I like the rapper. I feel like I would have liked some more of the ending sooner, or even if it was they took the end and then just put that like at the beginning and just had that story develop even greater, But there was something cool that they had there, but I feel like the military sort of or the police presence, like this raid, sort of maybe degraded a little bit from it for me. But I mean, that's just my opinion. Creepy Girl says The Vigil. Yeah, that was.
Is that the one that we did?
Yeah, that's the one that we did. Yep.
All right. See, that was what popped into my head.
Yeah. Which was I really dug The Vigil. I thought that was great. So yeah, in a sense, that definitely is a similar idea of like watching over a corpse, because that's what the dude did and seeing shit. But yeah, overall, Timo's was the best, and I think Empty Wake was my least favorite. I didn't think it was a terrible short. I just felt like it stuck out like a sore thumb a little bit. And where this sits for me, this was definitely better than VHS Viral. And I think I haven't seen VHS, the original VHS, in a while, so it's hard for me to compare. But I might like this a hair better than the original VHS. But for me, VHS 2 is still the king of the hill, mostly because of Safe Haven. So MZ, you should go back and watch Safe Haven because I'm not sure if you remember that one.
I got a vague recollection of it.
It was Indonesian, just like Timo's here, and it was about the cult, and they were like, yeah, that's all I'll say. If you don't remember, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah. So there is our thoughts on VHS 94. It's available on Shudder, streaming exclusively there. So, and you know what? It's worth it just for the fucking Veggie Masher. And also for Timo's. For me, like those two, like big time highlights. But the rest is pretty quality. Like it's pretty good. So, give it a watch. I mean, it's fucking October. What else are you gonna watch? You gonna watch movies on Tubi? Shitty movies on Tubi, like MZ?
Yeah, you're gonna watch fucking Squidward Club.
Squidward Club?
Yeah.
Do you know what Squidward is?
Actually, I was talking to some a buddy at the shop, and I feel that Squidward's voice is essentially not Ernie but Bert from fucking Sesame Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Well, no, I'm too old for fucking in the demographic, but like it's that moment where like, oh fucking Bert, it's fucking Squidward, right? Tell the kids. You know what I mean? And,
oh shit! All right, so that's gonna do it for our discussion. Next week. All right, so this one we're gonna go a little off the rails next week, a little something different. And we typically do new VOD releases. That's sort of where we live in the film discussions that we do. But next week we're going to do something that came out in 1988. Let me pull up a little info about this here. So, the name of the film is Sons of Steel, and it is a lost 80s Ozploitation sci-fi time-traveling post-apocalyptic heavy metal musical. You got all that, Raven Shadow?
I'm watching that fucking Sunday.
Bullshit.
Marion.
17 different parts.
So Phantom Pain Films is going to be releasing Sons of Steel with a limited edition Blu-ray and VHS on October 5th through its Future Video label. And so this one, you may have to dig a little bit for this, but when I heard about this, we had to get on this because it sounds fucking bonkers. But this is sort of like I wasn't intimately familiar with Phantom Pain Films, but I think it's sort of like one of those repertory kind of releases, like Vinegar Syndrome kind of thing. But this film has never seen the light of day in America, supposedly. I mean, it's possible it was bootlegged or you could download it or whatever, but it's a film from Australia, hence the Ozploitation. And it was written and directed by Gary Keady. And the synopsis from IMDb is, in a futuristic Australia, a scheme to blow up the Sydney Opera House is discovered. The only way to stop it is to send an agent back in time to prevent the plotters from hatching it. You guys got to check out or if people want to check out the trailer, it looks fucking outlandish. So
is it
what's that?
Is it Van Damme?
Is it Van Damme?
Yeah, it sounds like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
It's Australian from 1988. It's not Van Damme.
Mickey Van Damme.
Mickey Van Damme.
Crocodile Van Damme.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, Dane.
No, you're not.
Let's see. Creepy Girl says she's going back to talking about VHS 94. My fave was the white supremacist one because of the creature won't say to not spoil. Said about to watch There's Something Inside the House on Netflix. And she said, what? Sacrilege. Sacrilege, all horror in October. You know what? We do what we want. No. we follow the releases, and this one came across that looked super interesting. And like this seems like Raiders of Atlantis, Miami Connection. You know, like it seems like one of those movies. And to jump on board this, as you know, right away when it gets an American release, I just couldn't pass that up. I want to be on the forefront of this if it's like one of those fucking amazing cult films, right? You on board with this, Raven Channel?
Word
to Snurb?
Word to Big Bird.
All right, which poster are you going to take down to replace now?
Well, we haven't watched it yet. We'll figure it out. We'll get 8x10.
Get an 8x10 of it?
Yeah, I'll put it on the fridge.
So I'm looking to see. I don't think it's actually available on VOD. So I think unfortunately, I think you have to order the Blu-ray or DVD of this. But we will, obviously be talking about it. But if you guys want to check it out, and you think that this is like a blind buy, you can get it from Future Video. So go to future-video.tv and get it from Future Video. And it's available for, the Blu-ray, $27.99. And you can also get they have VHS and poster available for $29.99. So if you want to get a VHS copy of it, you can do that, or just grab the Blu-ray. So, and you get that from future-video.tv. Sons of Steel. Check it out next week. Looking forward to it. All right. So we have one voice message, and I know obviously anthologies we kind of run a little long, so we'll wrap up after this voicemail. Corny says, "What's the film for next week again?" Corny, Sons of Steel. I don't think you're going to find it, unfortunately, on VOD. I think it's a physical release only. But I think it'll be fun to talk about regardless. I think it sounds outlandish and crazy. So I, for one, am looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. And then next week we'll jump back on the VOD train, and we got what I think is a cool one that I've been looking forward to do the following week. So, all right. Let's see here. What do we got? We got a voice message that I'm going to queue up in just a moment here. We only got one tonight, but I have a feeling that it'll be about this evening's movie. Is from our boy, Arkham Josh. You excited to hear from Arkham Josh, Raven Channel?
Yo. Yes.
Yo all of a sudden means yes?
Hey, yo.
Hey,
yes.
Hey, yes. Hey, yes. All right.
Hey,
well, let's hear from our boy, Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh here. Just calling in with my thoughts on this week's film and kind of a brief catch-up on last week. First off, this week's film, VHS 94. Heard about this recently, and I was very excited to check it out. It's got some good people attached. I did like the previous VHS films, but none of them have been great as a whole film so far. There's usually an uneven element to them. And unfortunately, this one is no exception. This one almost, I feel like, nailed what it was going for. And overall, I really, really liked it. And I feel bad for saying this, but this would be a great film if it didn't have Timo Tjahjanto's short The Subject in it. And I feel bad because it was an interesting idea, but I just felt like it would have fit better in a different anthology, or even maybe been expanded to its own thing. Mainly because it sticks out like a sore thumb, both stylistically and conceptually. First off, it does not look like it was shot on VHS in '94. It's clearly HD video. So you got that problem. Secondly, the pacing of it does not work very well, being stuck right in the middle. And you get like this first 5 minutes of just the doctor kind of talking to the camera in a way, and you have an idea of what's going on, but you're not seeing anything. Then, you go into the action sequence with a lot of CGI elements, and it doesn't work with the rest of the film. It doesn't share the cohesive look of the rest of the film, and thematically, everything else in the rest of the film has either cult or occult type themes going on in different ways. And this also does not share any of those themes. I really think I would have liked it better if it was part of another film. And I think I would have thought this film was fantastic if it was not part of it at all. Now, as far as the rest of the film, I thought all of the other segments worked well. I think the two best ones would have been Simon Barrett's The Empty Wake and Ryan Prowse's Terror. Terror didn't work as well. It seemed a little bit choppier in the storytelling and a little bit sloppier, but it was a really interesting concept. And Barrett's The Empty Wake was just strong, because even though a lot of it was a person sitting there, it had a good pace to it, and it built suspense really well. So overall, I am going to give VHS 94 a treat. But honestly, I would tell people just to skip the whole middle section of the subject, because it just throws the whole film off. It was enough where it almost lowered it to tepid treat for me. And if you have Shudder, it's a definite recommend. If you liked the other films, then it is also an overall recommend. So treat and a recommend. But I just wish for once there's always that one short in them that doesn't seem to fit. And I never could figure out why, especially this far into the series, they can't just kind of get it together on that and be like, well, if it's called VHS, let's not have a segment that looks like it was clearly shot in HD. But yeah. So overall, like I said, treat and a recommend, but it does have some issues. As far as last week's, I didn't get to rewatch the films, but I very much remember liking the last broadcast. I too saw it when it was a new release VHS, and I was actually excited to rent it as a VHS because I also remember missing its one weekend release as a midnight movie. I remember it played at the Cable Car here in Providence and a number of other theaters. I think it was an early digital projection release because the gimmick was that they were billing it as like a one-time only simulcast to theaters. But from what I understand, it was just kind of sent out and screened like digital projectors. I also hear it kind of looked bad on the big screen, but that's a whole other thing. But yes, I remember renting it when it came out, and I bought the DVD when that came out, and I do quite enjoy it. As you guys said, it has its issues, but it was kind of helping to define a subgenre that wasn't very common at that point. So I think it works. The Tunnel, I also remember watching that online back when it first came out and liking it, but I don't remember as much about it, so I'll still have to try to go back and revisit that one. All right, I guess that's everything. I'm all caught up now. I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope you guys enjoyed the film, and I look forward to hearing what you guys thought of it. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, Josh. As always, thank you for your thoughts and for calling in. While I think a lot of us disagreed with, well, not disagree, but he does bring up some valid points. Way he explains why the subject stood out to him makes sense. Like, we viewed it from different lenses, where for me, I'm thinking in terms of just the VHS films in the past. And, this one has a very sort of like specific gimmick, and that's why the subject sort of doesn't fit for him. So I get it. For me, I don't necessarily care. I don't really want to, we talked about this ad nauseum. I don't want to keep bringing it up and say that, like, I want to watch an actual movie. I don't want to see something that looks like like a homemade video in 2021, So that's just my thoughts, but I can understand what he's saying, and it's valid. You guys have anything to add? Aries, looks like you're mad at Josh. You're gonna call him out?
Oh no, I mean, I just think the degrading of the other shorts enhanced the quality, the appearance of this short, and I think that kind of adds to the why it looks so good compared to the rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, Josh also gave his thoughts on Last Broadcast in Tunnel, which we did last week. So, is a found footage triumvirate. Raven Chat, what are you doing? What the fuck is he doing?
Is he asleep?
I don't know. Maybe he is.
Did we lose him?
Maybe. Is he mad
Did
at someone?
Josh bore you?
Yeah. Josh bore you? What the fuck is he doing?
I don't get it.
I lost you.
What are you doing?
I lost. Am I doing?
Yeah. He's like posing.
What's posing?
You're such a fucking poser.
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
Chilling, baby.
All right. So, thanks, Josh. Good to hear from you, buddy, and glad to have your thoughts on the flick. All right. I think that's it. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's it for voice messages. We're done. MZ, you happy?
Yep.
All right. So next week, Sons of Steel. Why don't we say goodbye? Starting with Monster Zero.
Fibonacci douchebags.
Aries.
Catch you on the flip flop.
Raven Shadow.
The Fast Love Hard Survive with the mask on.
All right. So yeah, next week, episode 481. Guess we're getting close to 500. The fuck. When are we going to be there? Let me see. Not till next year. So maybe in like February or March, I believe. Just like looking real quick. February or March, we'll be at 500. So we still got a little ways. But next week, as I mentioned, we'll be doing Sons of Steel. Unfortunately, it's not available to stream. Not telling you, but maybe you can look on YouTube or something. I have no idea. I'm not sure if it's available anywhere. I'm not sure. Our friends over at Future Video, were kind enough to send us a screener of it, and it looks like it's a fucking ball. So I really was excited about checking this out. So once again, if you guys want to, if you buy it, I'm sure you're not going to get it in time to watch it, but you can pre-order. Let's see. Yeah, there's a limited edition Blu-ray and VHS on October 5th, so you can get it through Future Video, future-video.tv, and it's on sale right now. So if you're interested and this sounds crazy enough for you, it's the first time it's available here in the U.S. So Future Video nabbed it. They're kind of, I think, an upstart boutique label, And looks like they have another movie called The Zombie Army. Let's see. From 1991. This one sounds pretty fucking crazy, too. It's a long out of print on VHS, early 90s, shot on video, gut muncher. And it was shot in an actual former insane asylum using real military weapons and vehicles. Huh. The Zombie Army. Have you heard of that, MZ? MZ?
That's you.
MZ?
Yeah, I think he's watching the game.
MZ, Monster Zero?
Why does he even have his headphones still on?
What is he doing?
What do you mean?
You weren't saying anything. I was talking to you.
What do you want me to say?
I said, have you ever heard of the movies The Zombie Army?
No.
From 1991.
No, I haven't.
Shot on video. Thanks for your contributions.
Wow, that was worth the wait.
No, I haven't.
Because I just want to get off the air. I'm tired.
Then just fucking hang up then.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Pay attention.
Just pay attention.
If I didn't have to ask if you were fucking paying attention, like we would end it already.
Well, no, because usually when we say our goodbyes, it usually means goodbye. It doesn't mean an extra 10 minutes
blah,
of
blah,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Now we're going longer. Angry Townsman last chat says Safe Haven is the best segment of all VHS movies. Right on, man. I'm with you. Best one ever made. Okay, well, that is going to do it before MZ turns into a fucking pumpkin before your eyes. Actually, I want to see that. I want to see him turn into a fucking pumpkin one of these days.
He's halfway there with that shirt.
All right, well, that is going to do it. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks to everyone who listened live. Thanks to Josh for sending a voice message. If you guys want to get in touch, send us a voice message next week. Podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Till then, see you then. Over and out.